Yeah, I don't know him. Glenn Huntley. Pretty solid, though. He has destroyed him. Are we live, Bradley? I think we're live. We're 10 seconds we've been going for.
We are live. Welcome.
Got a massive zero eyes on us at the moment, so maybe hold off the welcomes. We'll wait until a few people pop in. I just got the notification on my phone. I should do like an Instagram. Oh, we got 80. That's pretty quick. I should Instagram this and tell people we are here. Welcome, listeners. 77 of you so far. 110 viewers as well. Thank you for joining us. We're just catching the end of the under 23K race, which is pretty exciting. Blow from Glenn Huntley absolutely smoked him. Welcome to our little watch party. Tell us if you can hear us all good. Hopefully you've got the stream open. You can hear us. We've got Bradley Croker I'm joined with. How are you, mate? What's going on?
Good, mate. Just trying to get the kids off to bed before we start. So, yeah, it's all good. How are you going, all right?
I'm going all right. Just finished a bit of buttered chicken for dinner. And, quickly rushed down here. Got the stream open. We got Zach and Newman working in the background for us tonight, which is, hey, Mel, which is going to be a big job for him. So he might pop in and out throughout the evening. Also got Soph Ryan down there at the track. Moose is down there at the track. And Nathan Pearce. People might remember him from our Inside Running podcast, Steigen #1team. He was one of our members down there. He's also got a microphone hovering around the finish line. So we're looking to throw to those guys throughout the night, looking to, talk all things running. Got a few prediction competitions going on and all those kind of things. So strap yourself in. Hopefully we're coming through nice and clear. Your comments on Facebook pop up, I think, or maybe Zaka has to approve them to pop up. So feel free to interact throughout the night. We should have a bit of fun. It's a bit weird doing this, Brad. Usually we don't look at each other, do we? And it's
we don't.
Tuesday night, yeah.
And we do have heads for radio.
Yeah, I'm surprised you got no hat on. Question already?
So, question for you, Brady. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
Oh, women's 10K by far. It's just because I think there's like 5 or 6 people who can win it. I think it's super exciting. I think the Ali factor is really interesting, that she's the only one with a qualifying time. We don't really know what shape she's in. We're not really sure what shape anyone's in, coming off the kind of COVID lockdowns and the lack of races and things like that as well. And there's a whole lot of girls that need to hit her time that aren't necessarily marathoners. So if they're going to go to the Olympics or the World Champs in 2022, they've got to go for the 5 or 10K. So they don't have the backup plan like Ali and Sinead doing the marathon. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the women's 10K. The pace it's nothing to sneeze at. Like, there's only 4 women who have ever ran that quick, 4 Australian women who ever ran that quick. So, it's a risk to roll the dice and go out that fast, and we could see some amazing performances and potentially some massive blow-ups. What about you? What are you most excited about?
Yeah, I think the women's race, but I just love how many stories there are within that race and the way that everybody's coming at it from different angles. So you've got you've got Ellie and Sinead who have run pretty much the times they're looking to run tonight. You've got Andrea Sekafin, who's run like sub 15 minutes for 5K. Like that is super quick. You've got Jen, who for me is probably favourite. For a long time she's focused on sort of steeple 5K, but I reckon that last 12 months she's developed a bit more strength over 10K. And then you've got the sort of up and comers as well, like your Rose Davies, Izzy Bat-Doyle has been on the scene, and I think what really set this race up was the Launceston 10, to have 5 girls who will be like probably the 5 big hitters, along with Ellie and Andrea, to finish within 15 seconds of each other over the 10K. So like between 32 flat and 32.15. So that was a pretty good sort of intro into this 10K.
Yeah, and you've just listed all those names without really touching on Tara Palm and Sinead Diver, who are like, that's why it wouldn't surprise me if any one of those 7 wins. So that's what it's. Yeah. And I'm really stoked that Athletics Australia made it the last event. Like, I think that's a really good move, putting them on as the main event, the last event of the night. I reckon that's great. And it's exciting. And it's going to be interesting hearing from Moose down there. Like, he's I think he spoke to him this morning and he kind of was a bit nervous, and I think he gets more nervous than Ali does. And it's not great when you talk to him in person at the best of times. So I'm interested to see what he's going to be like when we tap into his phone in a couple of minutes, or a bit later down the track, and see how the big moose is handling things down there. But man, you have actually done some research for once as well. We've typed up a document. Yeah,
we have. Whether I can actually access the document while I'm on the live stream, doing two things at once, I'm not so sure. But you're definitely right about potential blow-ups, though, because it sounds like all these girls are committed to go. Well, I guess Nick Bedaux's squad are committed to going for the pace, and I believe it's quite windy down there, which means that if somebody actually holds back a little bit and doesn't go with the pace, they might be able to run over the top of them late.
Someone who's going to tell us about what it's down at the moment. Hey, Nath, how you going?
How's it going? Not too bad.
The legend of our Steigen #1 team back in December 2019 won the show for us that day. What's it like down there? Give us a bit about atmosphere and vibe, weather. What's going on?
Yeah, it's building up. We just had the 3K men's run. Conditions are pretty good. It's pretty warm, like maybe it's pretty like humid. Bit of wind on the back straight though, so that might play in a bit for this 10K.
So tailwind or headwind on the back straight?
Headwind, tailwind on the back, head on the straight. So yeah, will be interesting.
What about atmosphere? You've been in a few Zatapex over the years. What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, it's getting busy. So here's Jared Clifford just walking past me, but
wish him luck for us.
Hey, Jared.
Mate, good luck, Jared Clifford.
It's building up. So Box Hill's a lot better than Lakeside, I reckon, for atmosphere. So it's pretty good.
Hey, you're pretty close to some big names down there in Melbourne. You got any late news? Who's in form? Anyone we've got to watch? Any DNSs? Any rumours you want to start?
Not by the looks of it, but yeah, you got Brett and Jack looking in fine form. Coming off Falls Creek, Andre Waring's a bit of a dark horse. He's looking pretty fit. So depends how the races run. But, I reckon Jack or Brett's looking the goods.
Beautiful, mate. Well, we might go preview the men's race now. We can see them on the stream. They're just warming up, doing some strides. And we might get back to you if you can grab anyone at the finish line. There they are.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
You'll have a job for Athletics Australia by the end of the night, I reckon.
Yeah. Who knows? Easy.
All right, mate. We'll talk to you a bit later on tonight.
This is done.
Beautiful, mate. So, Croaks, men are on the track.
Yeah.
I'm going
different.
Jack. Yeah. Why? Tell me why are you going Jack?
No, I'm going Brett.
No, I'm going Brett.
No, I'm going. You put Jack on our Facebook tips.
No, well, there it is. It's just flashed up. Brett,
All right.
I thought I was going to win a 6-pack of beers there.
I went Brett as well, but I didn't go quite as quick as you. Just based on the weather forecast was for 25 to 35 k an hour southerly wind, which it looks like it's not that bad. I just think Brett's come from the track. So traditionally, Jack's never run great on the track, and he's the first to admit that. And I think one factor with both the men's and the women's races is the last couple of Zatapex and the last couple of years of 10K races, a lot of the athletes have been wearing 4%, next percent, where they're all going to have to wear spikes, which I think that plays into Brett's hands because Brett's, he's run 13 mid or 13, 15, 13, 16, something like that for 5K. So he's used to running a lot of laps on the track in spikes. So that's why, and also just based off his half marathon, his 10K pace for the half is 28:20 odd. So I just think it puts him, it just puts him favourite to me. And he's always had the wood over Jack as well. London, they sprinted down the straight and Brett held him off. And then both of their 10K PBs, Brett's run 27:58. Jack ran 27:59 in the same race in the Netherlands. So they've been close, but Brett's always found a way to get over the top of him.
You reckon it's something in that like master and the apprentice kind of thing?
A little bit.
And Brett's the alpha of that group, Melbourne Track Club. Like Jack's one of the younger members, probably looks up to him quite a lot. Yeah, you're right with Brett. Like, people forget Brett's a 5K Olympic and World Championship finalist.
Yeah.
Like, that's, what is it? 18 guys, 16 guys make the world champs final. Like, that's legit when you're talking about 3 Kenyans, 3. I'm just looking at this bullshit that Zach is putting up here. Industrial Estate World Record holder. Thanks, Zaka. Yeah, people forget that he's legit on the track too, not just a track, hack that's turned to the marathon. So, going to be exciting.
And if you think about it, like Brett's 5K, he's run phenomenally quick over 5K. He's run super quick over the half. Like, really, it sets him up. He should be. He has the. He's capable of obviously running like the Australian record time based on what he's run for 5K and the half. So,
well, it's interesting you say that, because when I did some research, they get this. So Brett's the fastest Australian half marathoner ever. So he's got the number 1 spot there. Over 5K is the 8th quickest ever. And then over 10K, 21st fastest ever. Like, there's a huge drop-off in his 10K performance. So he's definitely got, he's got the kind of wheels there and the strength there. It's going to be some real good underdog stories here, I reckon. Nath brought up Andre Waring. I talked about him on the show a couple of weeks ago, a bit of a soft spot for him. Andy Buchanan, our interviewee from last week. He ran really well here last year with his 28-24. You got a bit of a battle over there in South Australia. Like, we've got Riley Cox and Adrian Potter. Like, they'll have a bit of a rivalry going on to see who's the best of those 2 guys over there. Ed Goddard, the New South Wales state champ, like, he's a bit of a baller as well. And someone we're forgetting, Dave McNeil. There he is. He's in the club singlet. Last time he wore that red and black club singlet, he won it. I've got it written down here. 2008.
Yeah.
That's when he won his first one. He was 4th in 2006. 2006 to 2021. That's a huge range and a huge time period to be at the very pinnacle of your sport. Tommy DeCano is on track. He goes sub 28:30 tonight.
Yeah. And McNeil, like Zatopek always has, like, there'll be guys that will smash their PBs. It's always the way. It's the premier 10K of the year. McNeil is the fastest on paper in the field based on 10K PBs.
And a big-time performer as well. Like, remember that Gold Coast Com Games trial 5K race? Did he come second there? Morgan McDonald might have outkicked him, but he kind of come from the clouds in the last lap as well. We just got some vision of Nick Earl, friend of the show. Those people that listen to Road to Nowhere, you know all about Nick Earl there. Ed Goddard's in the yellow. Ben Kelly, who Moose sprinted off with at Bendigo 5K. There's Andy Buchanan. There's a lot of stories that listeners will be familiar with in this race. A lot of people there. What are you thinking? They're going to go slow, aren't they?
Well,
up front, do they just want to win?
I reckon the win's more important than times for this race, which is actually the reverse of the last Zatopek. So it was the men's race where they were actually chasing the Olympic qualifying time. Remember, Pat Tiernan was driving that train, and the women's race was more about the win, where this time around it's flipped. I think the boys are just out for the win, whereas the girls are chasing the time.
Sam McEntee's in there as well, Rio Olympian over the 5K.
So we believe Ben Buckingham is pacing through to 5K.
There he is now. They're kind of waving him through. I did hear some news that he was going to try run 14 dead through 5K, which is pretty close to his PB, but his PB over 5K is a bit weaker than that. I would have liked to see him actually racing it as well, Bucks, previous interviewee as well. So, it would have been good to see him go around, but we'll see how well is that. Brett right behind him, Jack in 3rd, Dave McNeil 4th, Sam McEntee 5th. So all the Bain players are at the front.
McEntee's a bit of a dark horse, like he's run 28 in the teens. Not known as a 10K runner, but he's run super quick over 5K, and another year under his belt of training, he could be a bit stronger. So if he's there with a couple of laps to go, he's got a pretty good kick on him.
And he's gutsy as well. I remember him at Melbourne Track Classic when Stewie made the move, and then he went with him. Like, I think Ramsden ended up picking him up in the straight, but Ramsden sat back kind of racing for second, whereas McEntee kind of went for the win. Yeah. So we're not going to, just to let listeners know though, they're after 27-28 for an Olympic qualifier. So Pat Tiernan's already got that, Stewie's already got that, and Chuck Benny's in that same conversation. They're the only 3 men who have ever done that. So you saw it happen here last year, but I don't think we're going to see a time like that tonight. We might try to get a split through the K. They're strung out though. Like, it means the pace must be on if they're that strung out.
Yeah, so looking at 67s.
for that time. Oh, no, for the
No,
pace.
that's 28 minutes.
He's got a bit of a man bun then, Bucks, doesn't he? Just you should do that, I reckon. Yeah, you got one, haven't you?
Oh, I do, yeah. It's tied up. Yeah.
Spin around a bit, give everyone a bit of a look. That's what you come for, ladies and gents. That's what you come for. A bit slow, Bucks. 68. This is my pace. This is my PB pace. I'll just drop that in there. 14:10.
It's always about you.
Yeah, well, I was looking back, actually. I was really hoping to introduce you tonight as the guy who's ran Zatopek twice, and then I was going to introduce myself as the guy who's ran Zatopek 3 times, but we both ran 3 times.
We have, yeah.
So I could do it. But then I had to go with the old count back and see who ran the fastest there, and that obviously goes to me.
All right. I thought you were going to say how many times you've broken 30 minutes there.
Got me there. So 2 packs already. Is that and this often happens at Zatopek, and that's what I was talking about on the show a couple of weeks ago. If you guys like us rocking up, you ideally you want a few people in that backpack that you can work with, not being no man's land. That's where we can see at the moment. It looks like Ben Kelly, Nick Earl, and maybe somebody else right off the back there. I can't see exactly who that one is. Maybe Tim Vincent or Liam Bowden. I think it's Liam Bowden from Gold Coast Run Co. Geez, those Nike kits look good, don't they?
I do. And I reckon this pack will stay together till, I don't know, maybe 4K, and then I reckon a few of the guys will fall off the back. No doubt. Every year it happens at Zatopek. There's always a few guys that are probably running in that 28:30 to 28:40 sort of pace, and they're more like low 29 guys. They find the second half tough.
You can see just a tiny gap open there, like Andy Buchanan in the white there, probably 8 or 9 in. He'd want to close that down pretty quick. Looks like Tommy DeCano right behind him, the famous shoe geek. And then, you can see that's Nick Earl now dropping off the back with Josh Maisie. And it looks like Tom Thorpe. Not sure who that other fella is there. The one in that second in that last pack there. So there's a few races within races going to happen for sure. Can you see? So I'll give you this hypothetical. We get to 2 laps. We get to 1 lap to go. Who's got the biggest kick?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because you look at every race that Jack's won on the road over the last few years, and you'd say that Jack has an incredible kick, which he does. But I think the track's different. If McEntee has anything left, I reckon he's got a pretty good kick. But then Brett's the baller and the racer and the guy that doesn't like getting beaten, so probably would find a way. I don't know if I answered the question, but I'll probably go with Brett.
That's where I experienced. Yeah, I think I just can't see anyone. He's just too. What we thought when he did the half record at Murragami, like he just puts it all out there a bit. So not that the other guys don't, but I don't know. I just don't think he'd want anyone behind him. Do you reckon
McNeil as well? McNeil is like a little bit older now, but like back in his day had an incredible kick.
Yeah.
So just for the people viewing, so 5:36 at 2K is 28-minute pace. So they're coming up to 2K now. So it's pretty much bang on. Yeah. So they're on 28-minute pace. Yeah.
Do you think they line up behind, like as Brett said to Jack, I'll take the spot right behind the pacer, and then McNeil, like they're all in the same training group? Do they intentionally do that, or is that just the way it's fallen out?
Yeah, I don't know. I've really got no idea. What'll be interesting to see what happens is when Ben finishes pacing, especially if there is any wind, whether then that's when sort of the cat and mouse happens. Because at the moment, everyone's happy to, and all these guys are capable of running 14 minutes quite comfortably through 5K. But as soon as the pace is gone, it then turns into a race. And that's when I think, the cat and mouse stuff will happen. Obviously, guys like Brett, Jack, Dave and Sam, they'll probably want to, break it up to sort of a pack of 4 and drop all those other guys and then fight it out amongst themselves.
Who is that just behind Andre Waring?
I think that's Kieran Tall.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think, like these guys, so Kieran ran, 28, him and Ed Goddard at the New South Wales 10K both broke 29 minutes. Was it like 28:40 odd?
Yeah, Ed Goddard ran 28:45, and I reckon Kieran was only 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, so they're both on track, obviously, for a really big PB, but it's it's very early days, and that's significant in terms of how much quicker they're going than what they've run in previous races. So, and who else is in that pack? You got Andy in there. Adrian Potter's right at the back.
Yeah,
and then you got Tommy in there as well.
I think we got Moose maybe coming in for a second. He'll be standing somewhere on the track there. Do you reckon numbers are up or down? Like, is the 1,000 people limit, is it any smaller than previous years? Moose maybe might tell us a bit more. I like Athletics Australia doing this. They've got people organised for these interviews to come in. Put a bit of innovation there at Athletics Australia, which is good.
It's a big step up.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. We'll see what Moose reckons. But what do you reckon just by viewing the feed? The atmosphere's there?
I'm pretty sure, back when I was running Zatopek, I reckon there would have been more than 1,000 in the stadium on those times. Don't you reckon? When people were lining the track?
Well, that's concerning me already that people aren't on the track. I hope they're going to let them on the track because that's a big Zatopek thing.
Yeah. So they're still on track, 8:24. So they're bang on 28-minute pace through 3K.
Good. Big Moose.
Hey, Moose.
Hey, fellas.
How you going? Sitting down on the back straight there, are you?
Yeah, I'm at the 120 metre mark.
We'll try to spot you on the next lap when they come around. Got a nice salmon jacket on, have you?
Yeah, that's me. I got the raincoat on.
You got the raincoat. Is it threatening the rain down there? Tell us about the conditions.
Yeah, there's some ominous clouds, but it's kind of windy. I'll stand up. It's actually a really good spot. There's a good vibe down here, Box Hill. There's a few on the get going. The crowd.
Are they letting you on the track, Moose?
Nah, no track.
No track.
COVID safe. Yeah. Moose, how windy is it?
It's not that windy where I am, but the flags are really the tailwind area. Down on the front straight's where the real headwind is.
What do you think of this men's race so far, Moose? Like, it seems they're stretching them a bit. Like, you can see Andy and Tommy and Adrian Potter off the back.
Yeah, so up front, everyone looks very comfortable. I thought Sam McKenzie looks like the most relaxed up there. Brett Robinson and Jack cruising. Dave McNeil looks surprisingly good as well. That's just how I'm seeing it. And then there's some real splinters happening behind. Like, there's carnage already.
Well, they were on 28-minute pace, which a lot of those guys have never run anywhere near that before. So you expect them to fall off the back. Who do you like this far out, Moose?
Brett Robinson with Sam McIntyre second.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's going to have the best run of the underdogs, Moose? You can just hold us to your ear. We don't have to see you.
Oh, okay. Best run of the underdogs, Kieran Tall.
Beautiful. And
nice ear, Moose.
Before we let you go, because we've got Jeff Risley waiting, how nervous are you for Ali's race?
No, I'm pretty I'm comfortable now. I've been sitting with Ali and Sinead and good vibes. No real nerves at the moment.
They're still all going at that pace? That hasn't changed?
No real discussions of that.
All right. That you can share. All right, we'll catch up with you a bit later on.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Nath, who you got down there?
Boys?
800 metre winner.
Yeah, got Jeff here, 800 metre winner. How'd you feel out there?
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, obviously the conditions are like a little bit blustery and it's a bit cooler here in Melbourne, but yeah, pretty lucky the young buck, Jack Lunn, kind of took the pace out pretty well. I sort of requested 53 and we sort of set the pacemaker, but him and Fabs sort of came over the top and said they wanted 52. So I was quite happy for him and to do his thing. But yeah, just another sort of, I've been out of the sport for a little while now, well out of, running sort of at a high level. So, each race is just about getting a little bit better. And, tonight I ran the thing for me tonight was about trying to get through 600 in 119 and just starting to feel that effort that I'm going to need to bring sort of later in the season when we start chasing the Olympic qualifier. So, ended up 148.1, and I think maybe a nicer night it might have been sort of maybe worth a 147 low, which is right where I need to be sort of coming into the end of Jan.
Hey Jeff, what's your trick for just this longevity? Like, when's the first time you won an 800 at Zatopek? How many years between drinks?
Normally the Zatopek I've turned up and done the 1500 in the past. So I remember 2009, I think I ran 2008 I ran 339 for 15. Justin Rinaldi, my coach, actually paced us that night, and Roffy I think he might have even dipped 340. So that's sort of my earliest memory of Zatopek. And I was obviously a late guy to the sport, and I never was really a 3K guy, so I never really got into the De Castella kind of 3K stuff. So but I ran into Jared Talon at Albert Park the other day, and I think I said about we're the only two stupid enough to still be in the sport from Beijing Olympics 08. So, and I think it's Danny Samuel. So I think the three of us are still the only ones still going. So
pretty incredible. Yeah. Congratulations on the win. Croaks, you got any questions?
Yeah, just Jeff, I was at Albie Thomas Mile, and I was really impressed with your run, especially given you got caught up in the fall. Is the 1500 on the cards, or are you focusing purely on the 8?
Yeah, no, I'm sort of just going to purely focus on the 8. It's been a bit of a challenge of mine. In previous Olympics, I've qualified for both, but with the way the qualifying system and things work out, and you need like top 5 rankings and stuff, I just don't want to spread myself across 2 events and end up sort of in the middle with nothing. So, I moved across to the Fast 8 Track Club with Rinaldi to sort of, with the specific purpose of training with Pete and Joe, and really, first time in my career training with genuinely fast guys. So I'm looking forward to doing some really lactic sessions, like, 2x400s on 12 minutes recovery. And, some of those things I've never really had people to do with. So, and the 1500 at the moment is pretty strong. I've obviously got Stewie McSwain, who, who knows if he's going to do the 15, the 5 or the 10 or what his sort of thing is, and then you've got obviously Ollie Hoare, who's come through, Matt Ransom the other day. Luke Matthews, when he's in the shape that when he won the 1500, I think it might have been 2018 or 19, he can beat just about anyone in any race. So 1500 is pretty deep, and I think there's maybe just a little bit more of an opportunity for me in the 8 at the moment. So, I'm going to sort of put all my eggs into that basket.
Well, all the best with that, mate. We might flick back to this 10K because a few blokes absolutely detonating here.
All good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, preparation. Thanks, Nathan.
So Bucks bang on 14 minutes.
I see that.
I don't know about you, Brady, but I reckon Brett is doing it like, obviously he gapped Jack. Jack just looks like he's working a fair bit harder than Brett at the moment.
I'm going to put my stopwatch on this. If any listeners got it doing laps, I'd love to know what that last lap was. If you can comment it in wherever you're listening, because it looks like there's been an influx of or an injection of pace, because McAtee's off the back, McNeil's off the back, Ed Goddard's off the back, and Brett looks good. He's looking around to see who's still around.
So 16:48 is the next split to look for. So that's 6K. That's 28-minute pace at 6K. So we'll know if they're significantly under that, then they've obviously dropped it down.
It does look like he's put the brakes on it maybe a bit now, maybe just to test him out. 5K to go, put the feelers out, see if you can break a few boys, and save it now for the main move.
Impressive Goddard.
He's a gutsy runner though, isn't he? There's a big jump though, isn't it? Like, you're talking about 45 seconds, especially when you're already running 28:45. Like, it's a big improvement to make. But he's probably in a nice situation there though, because he's got McNeil, who he's just got to cling to. Whereas Jack's got nobody. There's Nick Earl getting the lap for the first time. I don't know about you.
I reckon my tip's gone. There's no way Brett's going to run slower than 28 minutes.
Well, could he be on he could potentially run a PB.
Yeah, his PB's 27:58. So he'll smash that.
We'll get this lap coming up here.
So this will be 16:48 is the split for 28 minutes. So
they were running 68s, and he dropped that one to a 65, and I actually reckon he put the brakes on that one as well. So I reckon he's probably running 800 in about 208 there to really sort a few fellas out.
Fair to call this race. You reckon done and dusted? Brett for the win? Anyone coming back?
I don't know. I think he's got like a bit of like redemption, and he'd be keen to win as well after the London Marathon DNF. I think that would be the kind of stuff that he talks. He doesn't anymore, but he used to really. I used to love following him on Twitter because he just called people out and kind of talk big game. And I always thought he was like the Conor McGregor of Australian distance running at one stage there. Like, he was kind of entertaining and good for the sport, where he's a bit more chilled out these days, but I think he's still got that under there. You knew him a bit, didn't you? Didn't he grow up in the same town as you or something?
Yeah, so he grew up in Canberra. So I remember when
connection to Ulladulla.
Oh, his grandparents live in Ulladulla.
That's right.
So but yeah, like as a junior, Philo used to coach him, so he used to rock up to training, and so he's come a long way since then. Interesting, Brady, we didn't actually mention that him and Jack have had very different preps for this. So Jack's been up at Falls Creek, whereas Brett decided to stay in Melbourne during that sort of Christmas, New Year period, which I found quite interesting because, everyone goes to Falls over Christmas if you're part of Badeau's squad. But then the girls also stayed in Melbourne, didn't they?
Yeah, some of them did. I think most of them did, actually. But what do you think? Soph's here. We'll go to Soph in two. Actually, I'll ask you this question in a second, Bradley, because I'll come back to it. But Soph, you're down there at the track. Welcome to the coverage. Can't hear you, Soph.
Can't hear you, Soph.
Oh. See you, can't hear you.
Mike. Oh, there. Can you hear me now?
You're back.
Yeah.
Sorry. I actually just logged in just to make sure I could work it, and I was like, oh, and I'm in, and I've really popped up on the screen.
How excited.
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, very well. I've spoken to Brady a bit today, but nice to see you.
How excited are you for the women's race coming up later on, Soph?
I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm actually really nervous. I'm feeling a little bit sick, just because it's a big race, and I'm a bit emotionally invested, I guess, in Ellie and Sinead and a few of the girls. And I don't know, when I look at the track and I just think of what's ahead of them, I am a bit anxious, but super excited for them. And as a spectator and, a big follower of obviously women's athletics, I'm super excited. So yeah, it's going to be good. Nice field of the track, perfect conditions.
Just on the stream, though, it looks like there's some dark clouds. And Moose kind of mentioned it a bit before. Is there a chance it could be rain?
No, I don't think so. Hold on, can you check the bomb? Any rain?
Don't stress, we'll be able to.
I've got a weather consultant. No, I would say no. I'm going to try and do that flip the camera thing. Brady, give me a second.
Yeah, try and get us some coverage of the boys, some close up stuff.
Yeah. Camera mic.
No one's going to catch Brett, are they? No. Was it not 1934 the clock stopped for the 7K? But I thought it was quicker than that.
Yeah, he went through that in about 4:28. There's Lewis McCaffrey. He was a member of our Steigen Hashtag.
He was the spiritual leader of the Inside Running podcast team.
Does Brett look as good as he did 2 laps ago, though?
No, he doesn't. No,
he doesn't. His head went down a bit.
Who does look good at about the 8K mark of the 10?
Yes, Lewis looks all right. His parents were going to tune in, actually, the live stream. Good question here from my training partner, Glenn McMillan. What spikes are they wearing? I think it's just a different colour, Glenn. I'm pretty sure they're doing it's probably got a new version or the next model coming out, next colour. Oh, you don't look around just do you, Brad?
Yeah, he's looking.
You don't look around just like that with 7 minutes to go and you're flying.
So let's get behind them front straight.
You can have a go at him if we get a post-race interview.
Convincing,
yeah, I'll check back in, guys. See you later.
No worries. Good to see you. Yeah. See you later.
I reckon he's definitely slowing down. I still reckon he's only just under that 28-minute pace now.
What was my prediction, Zachy? Can you find our predictions again? Because I think we were really similar.
You were 27.53, I think, and I was 28.05.
Okay.
We at least looks like we've at least picked the winner. Yeah, 27.53. There you go, Brady.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even if he is slow and it doesn't look like Jack's getting any quick. Oh, Jack, I don't know. I'm getting
And
nervous.
then- So you got McNeil, then Goddard still there. And is McEntee back on?
We'll see it now. I'm going to get these. I'm going to get these couple of lap splits. This will tell us. And even the gap, if we can get a gap, what's the gap back to to Jack? So
22-24 is the is 28 minutes.
28, 20,
28,
22.
sorry, 22-24. Yeah, which he's not going to be that far under it.
So what's he on about? 20. He's on really close to his PB shape.
Yeah. I'd imagine he'll find something in that last lap. Always managed to kick it down.
The gap's just too big too, I think. He's looked over the shoulder again. What's he got? 5 to go, 2K.
I'm really interested in third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, well, even, when you're talking about guys like Andy and stuff, 28-20, like they look all – so there's Andy going through now. He's a long way – he's a lot longer than 20 seconds behind Brett.
Maybe even see if somebody on the ground can tell us what's happening just back off, off Jack.
Yeah, we might get Zaka to send a message even to even a Nath or even Moose Zaka, and just see if they can just tell us who's like top 10. Because we're only seeing really Brett, and it's just an absolute dog's breakfast. People getting lapped everywhere. Yeah.
Looks like Nick Earl's sewn up the wooden spoon.
Oh, I was going to ask you before. You spoke about Jack being up at Falls Creek. Obviously, there's no synthetic athletics track up there, so he wouldn't have been in spikes at all.
No, but good point. But I think MTC, they do a lot of their track sessions on the grass anyway, but there'd still be the opportunity to put the spikes on.
Yeah, not if he's at Falls Creek though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Brett staying in Melbourne, even if he was on a grass track, can still put spikes on. Oh, there we go. So we got, Goddard's just behind McNeil.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a pretty decent PB for Ed.
$2,000 first prize here as well. I think Athletics Victoria puts that up. Don't know what second and third is, but they'd pay down as well. So it could be a bit of money on the line for Ed Goddard and Dave McNeil. And there's that. That would be, you think Nick Earl's been dropped from this pack here?
Yeah, he's behind, Ben Kelly. So he's coming around. Yeah, Nick Earl's a last.
There's Nick Earl there. Yep. Yeah, right.
So the last split we'll get, so 9Ks, 25-12 for 28 minutes.
3 laps to go. What was it? Sorry, say that again.
25-12, so in 200 metres. Yeah.
I think someone's just told us the top 10 here. I think Moose's email will send this in. Brett, Jack, Dave, Ed, Andy, DeCanto, and Kieran. So McEntee must be out.
Yeah.
And then Tim Vincent, we're getting told, is in that spot behind Kieran Tall. Yeah, Nick Earl is in a world of pain there. I was putting that face on.
He always puts that face on that. So here we go. Yes. So he's pretty much bang on 28.
Oh, this could be real closest to the pin, you and me here. Do you want to
I still reckon you'll get closer because I reckon Brett will find something in that last lap.
Brett Robinson, I'll tell you about his history at Zatopek as well. I think I've got it written here. I do have him as my number 1 seed for tonight. He won it in 2014, second in 2015. So he's done this once before. If he can hang on for another 2 laps. So yeah, he's going to I could be winning this guessing competition. I think we did have some stats about that today. I'll read some of them out. It was a bit of a people were saying we had 44 people guess Brett Robinson, 44 guess Jack. So very tight between the two. So our listeners know what's going on with the 2 most populated guesses. But he's 200 up on Ducano and Andy, who just come through then. See, Andre was with him after 4K, 5K.
Yeah.
And now you're getting laps. It's a brutal sport, this.
Yeah. And it's always the way. it's always the way Zatopek, guys that go out hoping to run that sort of 28:30 odd, and probably are even going faster than that early on, and makes it a really tough last 3 or 4K. So here we go, Bell.
I am on for guessing the exact time here.
No, he's not. He needs to run 59 for the last lap.
Didn't I guess 27:50?
3.
Yeah, he's going to kick it home.
Well, he's going to run 59, is he, for the last lap?
What's his official PB? 27:58.
Wow.
I reckon he will. He knows he can run PB.
He has actually picked it up.
Tell you what. There's Nick Earl again, Dave McNeil. Oh, Goddard. This is going to be a good battle for third. Tim Vincent getting lap there. That's another thing you don't think about. These guys have got to go around a lot of people in these last couple of laps, so spend a lot of time in lane 2.
So Tim Vincent still looks pretty good for getting lapped.
He's a smooth mover, isn't he?
Mm.
Ran that really good half marathon up in Brisbane or something. Remember he beat Jack Bruce? Maybe Noosa, something like that.
Nah, there's no way he's
kick Brett.
Oh, I reckon I'm going to be closer here.
He's going to miss his PB. Have a real 28:05.
28:05.
Oh, 28 dead or 27:59.
There we go. It's not bad.
You could win the pair of shoes off Moose. Jane Gregson, 31:45. Race.
Yep. Come on, Jen.
If you're watching,
so I need her to run 31:40 then for the added up times. All right, let's sort of call them in, I suppose.
Goddard in 4th, 28:25-ish. So it's a 20-second PB for him, which is a good run. So now let's see who's 5th. Andy 5th. Tom DeCano, 28:35. How good's that?
Which really, based off his half marathon, he should be running that.
Oh, Riley Cox, 28:45. I reckon that's his PB, very close to his PB. That's a huge run for him. Come on, keep the camera on the finish line. Who's that? Kieran Tall, 29:03. Very close to his personal best. Tim Vincent, who we've spoken about before.
Yep.
Now we'll just see. So last year, everyone at Zatopek ran sub 30. There's Adrian Potter. Do you reckon it's going to happen this year?
No.
Do you think further down, that's where the shoes impact? 29:20 for Andre?
No, not necessarily. I don't think Nick Earl's going to break 30 minutes, was he?
No. We'll get some audio with Brett shortly. Nath will be rounding him up down there. Have a chat to him.
I definitely reckon, though, that there'll be some people that will be pretty banged up having done 25 laps in spikes when their last 2, 3, 10Ks have been in bigger shoes.
Oh, Nick's still got a lap to go, and the clock's just gone 30 minutes.
Oh.
There's Lewis McAfee, 30:02. Ben Kelly I reckon that was a PB from him, 29:47, 48.
I reckon Nick Earl's finishing time is going to be one of the slowest last places in quite a while at Zatopek.
Josh Maisie, 30:20. He was in the same pack as me last year, actually. We'll see who we can get here because this will be really insightful for how they found it, how the conditions were. I think Sophie's trying to find someone. Nathan's trying to find someone.
I don't know about you, Brady, but I thought it looked like when the pacer pulled off that Brett was like I thought he was then going to run like a 13:45 or so second half. And it sort of seemed that way for that first 800 meters. And then it was like, nah, this is now a little bit too hard. I'm going to just do enough to win. And that's when he started like looking over his shoulder. That was the vibe I got.
Yeah, I agree with that summary of it. We'll ask him about it shortly when we get him. But yeah, I think that's definitely how it looked from us as Nico Earl, 31:14. He will not be happy with that at all. Swagger's pretty good on Brett. You know, the double hooped earrings, the necklace, the skull tattoo on the bicep. He's
Are you jealous? You're going to go get a few tats?
No, I haven't got any tats. Moose has got a few tats, but I'm the guy I'd like it for about 2 weeks, and then I'd be like, all right, can I wash this off now? but this isn't Tat Chat. This is a Inside Running podcast, watch party chat. But we're trying to fill some time here, listeners.
Are you on the beers tonight?
Not yet. I might go grab one in a second. We made a few mates come up here on the weekend and they left a few beers, so I've got a couple to try in my fridge on their behalf. Actually, you'll be right here for a second. Zach, you want to come talk to Croaks for a second? I'm just going to go quickly grab a beer. You're in. Be good for people to see you, actually, because you work behind the scenes and people hardly ever get to see you.
Hey, Zacko, you absolutely nailed that. Putting all that stuff
mate,
up.
what's going on, actually? we were trying to see who was in the the other positions was a bit of a challenge, wasn't it? So it's good to have people down on the ground.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate what you've done. It wouldn't be made possible without you. So, what was your take of the race,
mate? Look, I thought Brett, he's so strong. And hey, actually, while I bang on here, we've got Soph. I think Soph's got time. I'll just jump in.
Hey, Zacko. Hi, guys.
How is it down there?
Okay? Yeah, really good. I've got Andy Buchanan with me. I just thought I'd have a quick chat to Andy while he's here.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Go for it.
Okay, Andy, we're sort of sharing this mic. Guys, can you hear Andy?
Have a chat, Andy.
You okay?
Yep. Can you hear us, Andy?
Yeah, I can. Is this COVID safe here?
Yeah, this is so safe.
Okay.
We are literally about 2 centimetres away, but the friendship's strong, so that's good.
Sorry, you go, Soph.
No, I was going to say, how'd you go? How'd you feel out there? Give us a bit of a rundown of your race and conditions.
I was pretty happy with my race. I don't know, it's been a while since I've raced, so it was kind of hard to know how I was going to feel. And I was happy to, last year I was pretty lucky. I got nearly the perfect race, perfect conditions, perfect pace and all that kind of stuff. So I knew today that wasn't going to happen because lightning doesn't strike twice. So I was just kind of really proud of how I kind of gusted out, and it wasn't super easy through there, but it was good to work with Tommy DeCano and a few other guys. So no, I was happy with my race. I would have liked a bit faster because you don't really get the opportunity to run a 10K very often. So a bit annoyed. I would have loved a PB. Wasn't that far off it, but I was stoked. Conditions definitely not as good as last year. A little bit of a wind, but yeah, pretty good. So I was happy.
Boys, did you want to ask Andy anything?
Yeah, I got a question. Firstly, Andy, well done on your Bendigo race the other week. That was super impressive to watch. 25 laps in spikes. Like the last few Zatapex, people have been able to wear the super shoes. Did you find that a factor in terms of just wear and tear on the body? Because, most of your previous Zatapex would have been in a bit more cushioned shoes.
Yeah, so I missed the first part of that question because I was distracted by your hair. That is looking great.
The first part wasn't important.
Yeah. No, I really like the Dragonflies. I think they work for me, so I actually prefer them over the Vaporfly or Next Percent and all that. So I found the spikes fine, and I'm sure my legs will feel a bit banged up tomorrow, but I felt fine during the race. So yeah, I was happy.
Do you want to go there? Yeah.
Looks like you got someone better to interview now. So
go do your presentation.
Good. We go to you, mate. We go to you.
Just quickly. Here you go.
Just quickly. Hey, Andy, well done. 5th spot. Good effort. We'll catch up with you shortly. Hey, Jack, well done on your run. How'd it feel out there?
Good at the start. Got rolling through it. Bucks was good with the pacing until it was his last lap, and he dropped to 64 on us. So that kind of hurt a little more than what I would have liked it to. So I kind of felt the pinch about there. And then Brett and I planned on taking 2 laps each, but that didn't really happen because I was already stinging a little bit at that stage. So I just had to hang on for the rest of it. So Brett just went about 30, 40 metres in front for the rest of the race.
Yeah, was that initial plan for you and Brett to take 2 laps each and increase the pace? Because it looked like he kind of kicked it down to 64s when he took over.
Yeah, well, we planned on just running 67s, but when it was his turn, he dropped a couple of quicker laps. So, yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, yeah, so made him kick it hard.
And Jack, we were talking during the stream, the fact that you've been up at Falls Creek, so you probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to get the spikes on up there.
No, not at all. So, yeah, Brett and I's first time getting spikes on in the cool room.
Yeah. So Brett hasn't been wearing spikes on those track sessions in Melbourne?
Nah, we don't really wear spikes at all, just besides racing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and is it a bit different going to spikes, having sort of worn Next Percent and that in previous 10K track races?
Yeah, it is a little bit different, but the Dragonflies felt felt great, to be honest. I barely even noticed you wearing spikes.
And what's next for you?
Don't exactly know what's next. I could be doing that Parkdale gift in a couple of weeks, but then after that, there's a 5K on March 2nd. I think it's on here as well. So I'll do that, and then probably national 5K as well.
All right, boys, he's got to go do his presentation.
See you guys soon.
Well
Thanks,
done, mate.
Jack.
No worries. All right, I'll try and grab some other people.
Thanks, Nate.
No.
Killing it.
No worries, mate. We'll watch the
Oh.
15 while it's going.
Yeah,
Have you got-
beautiful.
Yeah,
No, I don't have anyone close. I'll grab someone soon.
nah, that's all right. All good. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right, 15 meters up next, Croaks. I think the results are there. There's some pretty good times.
Yeah, 28:16. Yep.
Like Jack was 14 seconds off his best. Like first race on the track in a very long time. Yeah, you think he's going to be in shape.
And he's had a very up and down 15 months. I need to actually get him on as a sort of friend of the show, because we haven't spoken to him since before New York, where he got that sacral stressy, and he's had a few ups and downs since then. So it'd be good to get a year recap from Jack.
Yeah, and everyone, they speak about how impressive it was at Launceston, but it wasn't a super fast. Like, he was solo and he dominated, but it was still kind of 40 seconds slower than today. So
I think he cooked himself a little bit though, chasing a time.
Chasing a time early on, being out there by himself for so long. So, yeah, interesting. He didn't mention, and we probably wouldn't have expected him to, that he's going to run that marathon that Athletics Australia are going to put on. Whereas, there was talk because he's in the third spot. So, he didn't mention that. And if he was doing that in 9 weeks' time, you'd think he'd be prepping for it now.
Well, I don't think so. All those races that he listed off that he'll potentially do probably doesn't fit with a marathon build. So it doesn't sound like he will be doing it. All right, men's 15. Who do you like?
I like watching the 15. Before we talk about who's in there, I just love watching 1500s because they're so unpredictable. Like, they're fast, they're slow. People get tripped all the time. I think we've got women's 15 up first, actually.
Yep.
That's why they're showing past interviewee Lyndon Hall up there on the screen at the moment. She's obviously got to go in favourite. She's the previous Australian record holder before Jessica Hull broke her time over in Europe this last kind of 4 or 5 months. She's ran 4 minutes. You got Georgia Hansen in there, 4:11. Jenny Blundell, the Rio Olympian. Keely Small. I like Keely Small off the back of the altitude training camp as well up there with Clifford and Philo Saunders and stuff.
Yeah, and also Keely beat Jenny Blundell at the Albie Thomas Mile.
That's right.
So she's come off a win. But yeah, Lyndon would be favourite. Although I don't know how she's been training.
Yeah, and Keely's got the fastest 800. So if it comes to a kick, that's what's going to happen there. Who you got, Nath?
We got Kieran Tall here. He's just finished his 10K. How'd you go?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, I came in up for a bit of a go, and it didn't quite go to plan, but I got a 5K PB through 10K, so I can't complain. Had to go.
Good work. Put it on the line. What was the 5K split?
It was about 30:59, I think. Something around there.
You're a 13-minute guy. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a funny way to break into 10K. It's good signs.
Yeah.
Another few months of consistent training, and we'll be getting some good times out.
When did it start to hurt?
Oh, probably about 4 or 5K, I think. I started to really set in, and then it kind of progressively deteriorated. And look, it wasn't quite what I wanted, but it's a good step forward.
Yeah, good work, mate. And what's up next for you? You stay down for a while or back to Sydney?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll stay down for the Vic 5K and try and have a stab at a good PB. It's been a while since I've run a Vic 5K.
Yeah. Well, 13:40ish. That could be 14:30 highs off a quick 5K tonight.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping to run under 13:50 there, so I hope there's a few quick guys in that. We can have a go at that, and then maybe even run a 1500 later in the season.
Beautiful, mate. We'll let you go because we're just going to preview this 1500. But thanks for your time.
Awesome, thanks, guys.
Cheers,
No
boys.
worries. Thanks, Nate. They've got a bit of a pause here. We've still got 4 minutes until the women's 15. This is what I don't like this about track. I just roll them through, keep people engaged.
Yeah,
Keep it happening.
But no, it should be interesting with those top four because there's really not much that separates it. As I said, the only thing I don't know is how Lyndon has been training because she hasn't raced recently that you know of.
What's Katrina Bissett doing there?
She'll be pacing. Yeah, she won the 800.
She looked pretty strong too.
She did.
Like, she looked like she did that off strength and she ran 2:02.
Yeah. Hey, I might just go and grab a beer. I'll be like 20 seconds.
No worries. We'll watch these ladies come through here. I'm going to go with Keely Small as my pick, and I'm going to make Croaks go with Lyndon Hall as his pick, just so we've got a bit of a competition going for this next race. Chuck us through your predictions in the comments if you want, listeners. Zach is back. Who you got, Zach? Pick a name.
Oh, it's hard to go past Hall. I think she was meant to go up to Sydney recently and have a race, wasn't she? Then the COVID hit, so be keen to get out there. And,
yeah, she was meant to be at Albert Thomas. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, could be just doing their strides. How's the ponytail on that fella? It's pretty good.
Something to aspire to, Croaks.
There's Moose talking to Nick Beddoe. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Right next to him.
Oh,
Ask
wow.
him for a hat, Moose. Ask him for a hat. There he is. Come on, Moose. He'd be shitting bricks talking to Nick Beddoe, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, especially before Ellie's race. He's nervous as it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a highlight of the stream for me.
It's good they've got a pacemaker for this, though.
Yeah, we got a what do you know what the time is?
Bear with me, I might have a look.
Nate's just popped back in. We got Brett Robinson. We're definitely gonna have to go to this. I'll add him in. Oh, you got him, Zach, or you add him in? Hey, Brett, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you. It was tough out there, but good to get the win.
He made it look pretty easy, though. That move you put in after Bucks pulled out, a couple of 63, 64s, and just pretty much got rid of everyone.
Yeah, I actually got a bit excited because me and Jack actually kind of discussed like taking laps, and then I went around 63s, which doesn't help anyone. So I kind of made it hard on myself and then hard on Jack. So and I just ran the whole thing by myself.
So
yeah, sorry.
So was the plan to sort of kick it down from that 14 minutes and maybe run sort of like 27:45? Was that sort of where you were thinking?
Yeah, I thought we'd just keep trying to run 67s and then maybe a little bit quicker the last K or two. But it was actually pretty windy out there today, which made it tough. And then, yeah, obviously running a 63 makes it hard to then keep running 67s. But like once I kind of got that gap at the end, I was fine. I was hurting a lot, but I was finding it hard to keep digging deep when I already knew I was going to win, and the time wasn't really going to be on anyway.
Yeah, Brady was a little bit concerned that you're looking over your shoulder a lot.
Yeah, I just wanted to know kind of where Jack was. I know sometimes if he gets in that last K and he's a bit of a sniff, he can bring something out. So I just wanted to keep that gap big enough that he would think he had no hope, and that's why I kept looking back.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, I was also a bit annoyed because I picked you to run 4 seconds quicker than you did. I thought you were going to get right on my time there, so you've stitched me up in the betting competition. But you were only 2 seconds outside your PB, I think. You got to be stoked with your form.
Yeah, to be honest, and once I got into that last lap, I'm like, I'm probably not going to run a 65 to rate 28. And then coming into the straight, I'm like, I'm not going to rate 28. So I kind of just like eased up a little bit. But if I kind of sprinted, I probably would have done it, which annoyed me a little bit. But I should probably always run through the line.
And Brett, no Falls Creek prep for you. Was there a reason you stayed in Melbourne?
Just to be honest, I've done it a lot, and Stewie didn't really want to go. I wasn't that keen, so I thought we train well together. And there's a lot of times where we, like in London, we've stayed in London where other people have gone to training camps, and just the two of us work well together. So I was happy to do that again. So we did that, and I think it's worked.
Yeah,
and
sure.
What's the focus from here?
Just wait and see what's going on. But I'll probably do a 5K, I think 2nd of March, back here at Box Hill. But just keep training and do a few of those shorter races just because I've missed out on them for the last few years. And we'll see when something pops up, I'm happy to do it. But at the moment, I don't know what's going on.
So we're unlikely to see you at that marathon, the supposed marathon trial in Sydney?
Yeah, I don't know. I won't be there. It's only 12 weeks away as well. So it's a bit of late notice, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm not that big a fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're pretty high up. You're high up the rankings anyway. So yeah,
but it is kind of that difficult thing of you have to defend your spot if someone's going to do it. But
I don't know. Like I don't even know, because I actually listened to the podcast the other day, and you said about the people who know would have known a long time ago, but I only got an email about it last week. So
Yeah, right.
I don't think anyone really knew. Maybe some people knew a bit before, but I didn't know about it. So.
Hey, Brett, Zatopek winning it, like you've done it before, but is it still that special feeling? Like you hear the Monas and the Deeks and stuff, and people talk about it as this special race to win. Does it still feel that special for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think any race in Melbourne is a special one, and Zatopek, like it's always a very good race and you got to be very good and running in shape to win it. So, and you know, my family's not here, all my friends are here watching, so it's kind of good to do it in front of them.
A few beers tonight, celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. But I just got told I got a interview at 7 o'clock in the morning on the radio, so might be a little croaky voice or something.
That'll be all right. You'll be fine, I'm sure. Hey, thanks for your time. We might let these ladies run the last lap.
Yeah, no worries. See you later.
Congrats.
Bye.
Your lady, Croaks, Lyndon Hall. She's gapped in.
So she's answered the question of how fit she is. So. And it looks like this, you know, for the fight for second and third is pretty much identical to Albie Thomas Mile, with Jenny Blundell and Keely fighting it out.
All very smooth movers too, aren't they? Like if you ever want to think about what you want to look like under stress when you're running fast, that's something to try and mimic right there at the front with Lyndon Hall. It's going to be quick.
It is going to be quick. I think the gap's too big for Keely to close.
Hey, that was interesting stuff Brett was saying about that trial thing. Like he just, you think he'd go with a second spot, yeah.
Yeah, and also interesting about the whole altitude thing. You know, like when you've been doing it as long as he has, sometimes just having a good training partner in Melbourne in the heat is potentially just as good.
Yep, 4:04. Blundell gets small this time around for second.
A good opener.
Yeah, it is a good opener. She's legit though. Like, I think people sleep on her. They just forget how good she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So men's 15 next. Brett's pretty good. Like having a yarn too, isn't he? I've had a bit to do with him over the years, and he's always pretty good with his responses.
Yeah, I like just how honest he is.
Yeah. Well, do you think they're just like they're just growing up a bit, and that's probably representative in that Falls Creek stuff. That it's like, I'm getting older. I don't have to do this every year. Like it's your preference and maybe a bit more of a life balance, and still get the job done in Melbourne. But maybe don't have to live that monk life quite as much sometimes.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So I'm sure somebody will. What are they? Oh, they're the 1,500 meter ones, those Nike ones with the airbags up front. So I'm sure we'll get a few interviews with those girls. But, men's race. So you've got Joseph Deng to pace. And then, you've got Gregson, who, Gregson's a hard guy to bet against when it comes to a 1,500, especially if he's in contention with 150 to go. You got Peter Boll, who I guess will be coming off a winter base. So he's obviously got the speed, but does he have the strength? Geordie Williams is, he's a guy that I don't reckon he's reached his potential yet in a 15, but has a phenomenal kick. And then you've got Jared Clifford as well, who's pretty much winning every 1,500 he does at the moment.
This could be the two 15s that Clifford's done. Vic Miles Club kind of won convincingly in the end. This could be he could run 340 and that would not surprise me. Like he could take 4 seconds off his PB and he's already got the world record. But we're really you don't even talk about this guy as a Paralympian anymore. He's just a 1,500 meter athlete. Yeah, and he's about to go up against Gregson, the second fastest ever, Peter Boll, the Australian 800 meter record holder, Williams. Yeah. Oh, here he is. Stewie.
Yeah.
Welcome to the live stream.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me on.
No worries.
Why weren't you out there? Tell us that first.
I was on bag duties tonight, just carrying the bags for the boys. Probably just focusing more on training at the moment. I think it's still early season. Trying to limit pushing training too hard at the moment and risking any injuries or anything. So, I'm just on team roll tonight, which is kind of nice. I think it's the first time since 2015 I've actually got to watch Zatopek. I haven't been in it, so it's actually nice being a spectator for once.
I was going to say, you'd really get to enjoy it, wouldn't you? Like no pressure and just chat to people. And will you have a couple of beers tonight?
Yeah, I reckon I have a couple of quiet ones with the boys, especially because they ran so well. So they've definitely earned it. So I'll enjoy it with them. But yeah, it's definitely a lot different watching. I kind of enjoy it. You get to talk to people. You get to see a lot of the other races. Because most years when you race, and it's like you barely get to see any of the other stuff that goes on. So yeah, it's kind of nice being able to watch, especially the 1500s. I'll get to see we're normally warming up when the women's 5K's on, so I'll get to watch that for once, which is kind of nice as well.
So there was no temptation to take your Aussie 10K record back?
I did. There was at some point I thought about whether it was going to be quick enough, but yeah, I probably would have had to rush training a little bit to kind of get in that kind of shape this early. So I was kind of, I'll wait, and hopefully another chance will open up. So I think hopefully I've still got a few more good 10Ks in me, so I'll have a good chance of trying to run a quick one.
Yeah.
Hey, Stewie, who's your pick for the women's 10K?
So I've been lucky enough. I've been able to see Jen and Andrea and Sinead all train, and I know they're absolutely flying. So I think all three of them have equal chance. I think they're all going so well. I think it just will depend out tactic-wise who pulls off the best race. But if I had to pick one, I'll probably just go Jen. She's she's a pretty tough racer. So if she's still there at the last lap, I think she'll have a pretty good chance of getting it done.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're telling anyone yet. What distances we got to see you at the Olympics? Like this men's 15's about to start. Like a few people in there be a bit worried that maybe there's only 2 spots up for grabs if you want to run 1500.
Yeah, as long as the Olympics do go ahead, I think I'll kind of let training decide what I'm going to do. I'll probably in a month or two be able to make a final decision what I'm going to do. I'm not sure whether I'll just do one event or I'll try and do the double. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit up in the air, and I'll kind of make a call based on how training is indicating I'm going.
And who wins this men's 1500? It's going to be an exciting race. First time I've seen a few of these guys in a while.
Yeah, I haven't actually been training much with Geordie and Gregor at the moment, just because I've been at Falls Creek. But I've been hearing that they're both fit. I think it'll be a pretty big race between them, and there's a lot of other good guys as well. So I'm excited to watch this one. My tip's Geordie but I think either him or Grego both have good chances.
He'll bring out that big kick finish.
I think so, especially there's a little bit of wind on the top bend. So if it slows it up enough, I think, he'll have a pretty good shot on that last lap.
Beautiful, mate. Any more questions for him, Krogs?
No, just congrats on the last year, mate. It's been awesome to watch, and I can't wait to see what 2021 brings.
Awesome. Appreciate your support, boys. What you're doing for the sport's awesome.
No worries, mate.
Good work, Nate, finding that. We're happy with him popping up anytime.
Cheers.
See ya. All right, they're away.
15. How good's that? Stewie just pops in.
Yep.
Another well-spoken guy, isn't he? Like, just level-headed.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about Stewie. He's just so down to earth. Who's this pacing?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, didn't we have the pacer down here?
Sam, we had Sam Tanner DNS. But I thought that Joseph Deng to pace.
That's not Joseph Deng. Peter Bowles second. Looks a bit like Luke Matthews.
But he trained this morning, so I doubt it's Luke.
Yeah. He trained with Nate, actually.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's get this split. So we're talking about 60 seconds. It's going to be 3:45. I heard Gregson during the week that he wants. Put the splits up on there. We heard Gregson speak on the AV podcast that he wants to run 3:40 as kind of his season opener. So Clifford's behind Cal Davies, the Queenslander with the headband, who's behind Matthew Clark with the arm warmers in. There's a bit of a gap through Gregson, Williams, Bowl, Pacemaker, Adam Pike. Who's the tall fella in the New Balance? That'd be Mathis, I reckon, from New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Interesting move, I reckon. Like Peter Bowl, obviously, 800 meter specialist, has a kick. I thought he would be just sitting back a little bit more and, trying to just hang on, and then if he's got a kick at the end, close. But he's obviously chasing a particular time.
It's going to be a burn up here because they're not going that quick. They're not going to split much quicker than 2 minutes if they even do go that quick. So they're on 3:45 pace. Yeah, spot on.
Which probably explains why Pete Bowles happy to be at the front, because 2 minutes for him's not working real hard.
And this isn't quick for Clifford. He's gone quicker than this the last two Vic Miles clubs. He kind of moves up in a fifth now. Williams, unfamiliar territory for him leading this far out. Usually pulls out and just puts in the big kick with 150 metres to go. Gregson's in the box seat there. And Cal
I really hope Jared can stay with them to 200 to go, because we know he's got a really good kick, and it'll be interesting to see how his kick compares to these other guys.
Yeah, it'd be you're right, because Vic Miles is obviously a level down from this kind of competition. So how does that stack up? He's on the rail. Clark's used to be one of his pacer, Clarkies, so he's right behind him. But still Williams, Gregson. So now they've picked it up because they went 2 minutes through 800 and now they're 259.
It'd be just a touch. I think it would be just a touch under 340 at best. Ball's still there.
He's throwing the head back. He often runs like that.
So this is where Clifford goes to work. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually makes up a little bit of ground, but just whether I reckon these boys will have another kick in them down the straight.
Gregson will win it. I'm calling it.
Oh,
Williams goes to the arms. Remember Steigen? He did that as well, too.
Yeah.
He's out that kick. He's going to win it.
How familiar is this sight of Gregson just trying to run someone down the straight? Yeah, just under 340. Yeah.
Wow, that's what Gregson said he was going to run.
I reckon it's still a big PB for Clifford based on that. I reckon he would have come in under 344.
Got a message coming here. If you want to slide into the boys, this is for us. Zadapet crowds. They used to get 4,000 through the late 90s, early 2000s. Late Olympic Park here, 2,500 to 3,500. Early Lakeside saw a drop of about 2,000. So 1,000 obviously there tonight with the cap on numbers. I think we've got Lyndon Hall here. We might patch her in.
Hey guys.
Hey Lyndon.
Hey Lyndon.
Congratulations on
well
your
done.
win.
Thank you. Yeah, painfully close, but really happy to start there for the year. That's for sure.
Very solid opener.
We haven't seen much of you lately, so training's obviously been going well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of solo training through lockdown, but yeah, it's definitely paying off. It was a very long wait to get to run a 1,500, so it definitely made you appreciate it more once it finally rolled around today.
And what were you expecting in terms of time? Like, have you done any time trials to sort of get an idea of what shape you were in before the race?
Not a time trial as such, but I was feeling pretty good that I could hopefully get under that Olympic qualifier. It would have been a really nice way to start the year, but close, but not quite there. But really happy with the direction it's going in.
Very
Got a
good.
question, Brady?
And then, what comes up next now? Like, is there anything else that's in the calendar? Like, it's hard to plan, obviously, at the moment. I know you were down to do Bankstown, and then that was a later pull out for you with the outbreak in Sydney. But have you planned too far ahead at this stage?
Not a whole lot, just because, it's sort of so hit and miss, I guess, with what's going to happen. But probably try and do as many Melbourne-based races as I can, just because you've got that security without travel. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe head over to Canberra for an 800. Who knows? We'll see. I guess it's a little bit open-ended still, but that's kind of what this whole year's been, isn't it?
And how does that race compare to your normal sort of season openers?
Well, apart from Com Games, that's the fastest I've run in Australia ever. So I'd say it's probably my fastest season opener, that's for sure.
Oh, good.
Next time around as well, like, are you trying to find a pace to maybe go a bit quicker and or for longer? Like, you were solo for a longer that second half.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the dream, isn't it? Someone to take you to 1K or something. But, it's pretty tricky in Australia because obviously most of the girls fast enough are in the race themselves. So, I was really lucky to have Katrina back up after her 800, which was no easy feat. She didn't have that much time to recover. It was obviously her first race of the year as well. So, really lucky to have had her. But, the dream is always to get someone to go as far as I can.
Hey, women's 10K, like, do you follow the sport at that level? Have you got a pick? It's going to be a cracking race.
Yeah, I think it's been a really exciting race. Especially, it's really exciting that, the girls have got the spotlight, the final event of the program. Love to see them get onto that Olympic qualifier. yeah, I'm not really sure what all the girls have been up to, but I imagine they've been training down the house and ready to do something pretty quick tonight.
Just last question. Has the wind dropped a little bit since the start of the night, or is it still quite breezy?
It's about the same as it was when I got here. The front straight's definitely where the wind is. But I mean, it's not lakeside, that's for sure. So be worse down there.
Oh, well, thanks again for your time, Lyndon, and congrats on the win, and all the best for the rest of the season.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Lovely to chat.
Thanks, Lyndon. Bye. Tell you what, Croaks, we couldn't have played this well, lining up some of these big dogs. What about
pinch myself?
What about I got like obviously you've done no prep on like when she said like that's so close. I'm like, what's she talking about? So close to what? And then I'm like, it must have been the Olympic qualifying time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I'm like, we haven't done any like research on that. Just seeing Clifford going around hugging people now. I reckon he's breaking his world record again. This is it. Women's 10. What time's it starting? That's the only race left we've got to cover.
7:40, I believe.
7:40. You got 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go. Looks like we got you there, Soph. Soph's just filming the track.
Well, hey, if we've got some time to kill, why don't we just quickly go?
7:30.
Oh, 7:30, is it?
Nah, 7:40 I've got here.
No. It's definitely 7:40. Yeah. I was just no, it's definitely 7:40. They're definitely not running around the track right now. I was just getting excited, so I logged on at 7:29. And I was like, oh. And then when he said, I was like, that's right, 10 minutes to go. I'm just getting a little bit antsy.
So who's your pick, Soph? I don't think you told us before. Who's going to win it? Give us the pick and the time.
Look, I'm highly emotionally invested in this, so I'm not really your sort of neutral contributor. So I'm betting with my heart, and I would love to see Diver do it. I would love to see her get like a 30, like maybe 31, 22 or 23 or something. That's what my heart says. I don't know.
What does your head say?
I really can't. I just don't. It's so hard because we haven't seen any of them race apart from Launceston. I think it'll be between Jen, Rose Davies, Andrea, Ellie, and Sinead. It'll come from those five. I honestly can't split those three MTC girls that I, don't have a lot to do with on a day-to-day basis.
Don't give Izzy Bat Doyle a chance.
Oh no, Izzy will probably be up there. Yeah, actually, I've left her out, so sorry about that. But I would still probably put Jen, Andrea, and Rose above Izzy.
Yeah. We'll come back to you, Soph, because we've got one of the greatest friends of the show, Jordan Williams, just fresh off his win. Well done, mate. Congratulations on winning the 1500.
Yeah, cheers. It was a pretty good night for her. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest. I haven't done too much to indicate that I'd be able to run like that, so I'm good, very happy.
Talent doesn't disappear, mate. Did you expect to do? Did you think you'd have to do so much work in that race?
Yeah, that was always the plan. I thought it was probably going to be a little quicker, and if we could maybe run 3:37, I'd try and push it on in the third lap there, and maybe Grego help out in the last. But probably just a little bit off through halfway, but I still went to the front. That was the plan, and just tried to hold everyone off. Something a bit different anyway.
Grego on your shoulder. It's such a common thing you see in Australian athletics where he tries to run people down the straight. What were you thinking running down the straight?
I was just keep going forward. I know at a flat out sprint at the end of a race, I think I'm pretty close with him. So it was just sort of who could hang the toughest, I think. It wasn't necessarily who's the fastest.
Yeah.
You've got to back yourself every time over that last 100, though, don't you? Like, you just destroyed so many people in that last 100 meters. We were just talking about reminiscing on how you did that at the Steigen #1. You go to the arms and it just puts everyone else back. Like, you must have a lot of confidence when you're in that position with 100 to go.
Yeah, look, I over the years I've kind of found that that's my strength. I mean, tonight was different because I don't think I've ever led a race from halfway, 1500 like that. So it was good. It put me under a different situation, to hang in there when it was, I was doing a lot of work, which is good. But yeah, like if I can be in the mix in the 100 to go, I'm fairly confident I can almost get it done most of the time.
Yeah. What's next for you? I know it's hard to plan with all the races and changes and stuff, but have you got anything locked in?
No idea. I'd tell you if I knew. Maybe there might be another couple of races at Box Hill. I think there might be a 1K in about a month's time. I'll put my hand up for that, or pace the guys trying to qualify for the 5K or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know, just wait and see. It was a good hit out tonight. I'm really happy with it. So
it's good, solid opener. And women's 10K, like you got a tip. You train with some of these ladies. It's going to be the race of the night. Like, give us Jordan Williams' tip.
I think after Jen looked after my dog for 2 weeks, she'd be filthy if I didn't say her. So I'll probably have to say Jen, but I don't think anyone's going to lay down and give it to her. You know, there's a lot of talented girls right now in the 10K, so it'll be hard work, but I think she'll be able to get it done.
Yeah. And have you heard anything on who's pacing and for how long?
Yeah, they're going to go for, I've got to not mess this up, 15:40 through halfway. And Sarah Billings, my partner in crime, will probably pace for 3K, maybe a couple more laps, and Nat Rule's going to try and go to halfway.
Okay, nice.
As far as I know, anyway.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. It's good info to have.
Do you guys not know that?
We thought so. We just wanted to get it off your mouth. Just get it straight from the guy himself.
Some media outlet you guys are.
we definitely do not claim to be media outlet. They're all talking about it now on the stream. They're all chatting there, pointing the fingers and stuff. I think they're talking about how many laps they got. All right, mate. Good.
No worries, boys. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks, mate.
Bye. Yeah.
Geez, we're good tipsters. I just tip my best mates and he tips his dog carer.
Oh, you're hopeless.
No one wants to offend anyone.
Oh.
No, I got that intel as well. So it's Nat to 5K, but she's pretty much going to have to run a 5K PB, and Sarah Billings to 3 with 3, and as Geordie said there, maybe a couple of extra laps. I think that was a late call because I think Nat was down to actually race the 10, and then Sinead kind of said the other day Nat's put her eggs in a 5K Sydney race basket, and so she's just going to pace. So we'll look to think Sarah will probably be leading it and then drop off the first. She'll be the first to pull out, and then Nat hopefully to halfway.
I don't know about you down there, Soph, but I'm getting a bit nervous up here in the Chuka.
I'm so nervous. Mate,
just seeing him on the line here. This is anything could happen.
I know, and that's why I'm down here. I'm right between the 200-metre mark and the 100-metre mark, and I'm just staring across at the start. And yeah, I hate watching them line up, and they're like, "Get your toes back" and all that stuff. I hate all that. That makes me so nervous. So yeah, I'm really anxious. This is not very professional.
I think you and Moose both. I reckon he'd be pretty nervous as well.
Yeah, it's just well, actually, I just pulled Nick Earl over before. He just said it actually got super hot because it's still pretty direct sunlight, and I don't think you can see the flags. I'm trying to zoom in a bit. The girls are off, by the way. They've just started. There's quite a bit of movement in the AV flags in the midfield, the centre field, whatever you call the infield, that thing. But anyway, they're off and running, so they've started, which is always good. And it'll take a couple of laps, I reckon, to maybe at least 600 metres to sort themselves out. But we'll wait and see. And they're rolling.
Trying to think.
They're going to come down here now. I don't know how good you can see.
Ali out of trouble? Oh yeah, there she is. There. Yep.
Yep. So can you see them?
I reckon our stream's probably about 10 or 15.
Okay, so Billings, Rule, Sekafian, Gregson, Lauren Ryan, Diver. Where's Ellie? Oh yeah, Ellie's just off the back. So Leanne Pompiani and then Ellie. Yep.
So there's some splits. Sorry, Zach has just put some splits up here because this is quite interesting. If you're just listening to us on the audio and you ever want to flick back to this, we'll keep it up here. 31.25 is the Olympic qualifier. We're looking at 3:08 through the Kers, 74-second laps. Key splits, Croker's worked them out, 6:17 for 2K, 9:25 for 3K. We'll keep touching back to that throughout the race.
Yeah.
And then, that's all we need to see at this point. And is there a gap there already to Ali? Sorry?
What was that, sorry?
Is there a gap already and Ali in charge of the second pack?
No, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Ellie is the second, leading the second pack. There's a little gap.
So Billings, Rule, and then Gregson, Sekafian, Sinead Diver, Lauren Ryan, Rose Davies, and and Izzy Bat-Doyle, of course. Then there's a break, and then it's Izzy, Tara Palm, Leanne Pompiani. Then a big gap, Corinna Fife, Gemma Maney, Sarah Klein, and there was 2 other girls in that third pack whose names I didn't see. I think Ellie will edge up to that. She's actually even started edging up to that lead pack. So that second pack, Ellie, Tara Palm, and Leanne. And Ellie's sort of closing that. I don't think that's anything to be too concerned about.
Or as Moose told Ali, let him go and then pick up just the damage in the back half, you reckon, Croaks?
Well, I reckon that's what we were talking about before. The fact that, 5 or 6 girls are committed to going for the qualifying time when it's unlikely that all of them will. Then if you factor in that there's a little bit of wind around, there could be a bit of carnage in that front pack. So I reckon it's actually not a bad move what Ellie and Tara are doing, just letting them go and maybe trying to pick them up when they blow.
Yeah. So it's just the what do they call the line when it's just the something train line? When they're all in one line. What does everyone call that around the track? They're coming around here now.
Well, the peloton in cycling.
Indian file?
Yes, something like that. Indian file. Yeah. So Genevieve, Andrea, Sinead, Lauren Ryan, Rose Davies, Izzy Bat-Doyle. Small gap, Ellie Pashley, Tara Palm, Leanne Pompiani. And that gap's no different to when they came round before. Maybe slightly greater gap.
3:09 through the first K. They're spot on.
Yeah. So as I think I mentioned to you guys, so Sinead kind of said hanging off the paces, hopefully to 5. And then I think the MTC girls, whoever's still in touch, were thinking try and take 800 metres each. So sort of 2 laps each. That would carry them through to about 1K to go. And then it's pretty much every girl for herself.
Yeah.
Good plan in theory. Good plan in theory. So it'll be interesting.
100%.
As Brett and Jack spoke about, they had a plan and it pretty much ended at 5K.
Yeah. Round table conversations are lovely, aren't they? Round track conversations are very different. Yeah.
Just got some info here from our man Clay Hopgood, our inside running statistician. He's told us that Michael Marantelli is the closest guesser so far. He guessed the exact time for Brett Robinson, 28:00. Jude McGravy second, Gabriel Briggs third, Liam Werrett fourth, Kirsty Farmer fifth. I'm in about 18th spot, folks, so I need Sinead to get up 31.
I need Jen to run 31:40, and I'm pretty much bang on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if you're in there.
Yeah. Just when the girls went around then, boys, there's that gap between the first pack and Ellie's pack of 3 has really widened. It's a big gap. And then it's another fairly big gap back to the third group, but that third group's working really well together, which is going to be good for those girls to hopefully run a PB.
So 3 races within a race.
Absolutely. It's 3 races within a race. Just be interesting to see if Tara or Leanne, roll their turn a little bit, or if Ellie sort of carries that second pack, because this is going to be back to Bendigo where Ellie just sort of ran an individual time trial.
Yeah. Do you think they'd be surprised to see Ellie there?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely think so. Yeah, for sure.
That is, we're just getting some coverage of it now on the live stream, and that is a significant gap.
That's huge. Yeah, it's really opened up now. So that's actually 100, probably 50 metres. Yeah, it'd be 50 metres. So as the girls went through the 100-kilometre start, as the girls went through the 100-metre start line, Ellie was at the steeplechase pit, the water pit. So that's 50 metres.
I think it's a smart move from Ellie. You also got to be realistic about where her form is at the moment. Yes, it was a windy 5K in Bendigo and she ran 16 minutes. She has to run that twice in a row to break 32 minutes. And these girls are going out at 31:25. So it's a big step up in the space of 2 weeks. Yeah,
no.
Sinead looks good there.
Sinead looks good. Sinead looks really, and Sinead said she was just pleased it was going to be, super quick from the start. None of this, as she put it, dawdling around, and then a 5K time trial or 5K just slam down, which I think Sinead underestimates how quick she is, how fast her leg turnover is. She never rates her speed, but she, it was like, I'm not dawdling around for 5K and then going up against girls who have been, 1,500, 3K, 5K runners.
But that being said, Soph, I reckon after Launceston, Sinead's probably also of the opinion that I don't want to drag everyone around and then be out kicked by 4 of them in the last couple of laps, which is I think essentially what happened in Launceston. So it's probably smart for her to stick for as long as possible and only go to the front when she really has to.
Yeah, for sure. And she, she's so strong. Like, she can just sit on this. I mean, it's a blistering pace, but she can just sit there in her aerobic zone for a very long time, and that's her marathon strength. So this is playing out perfectly, really. And it's just, it's an Olympic year. These girls they're super fit. They're world class. This is how they should be running, 10,000 metre runs. This is how they should be doing these races. They are world class. They're all world class, and they're, it's no disrespect to how they ran it in 2019, but that was just a very different scenario. And now this is it's like the big girls have come out to play.
What I love, Soph, we were chatting about it at the start of the broadcast, was how this front pack, they're all elite, but elite in very different events. Sinead's the only one that's run really this time, along with Ellie, for 10K. You've got Andrea, who's broken 15 minutes for 5K, which is way quicker than the rest of the field. Then you've got Jen, who's phenomenal over the steeple. So they're all coming out of different angles. And then you've got up-and-comers like Rose Davies, who on her night can beat all of them because she's she's a powerhouse.
Yeah, and
75 seconds there it is.
So if we're just going to throw to Ryan Gregson and come back to you.
Yeah, good as gold, mate. Okay, thanks.
Ryan, well done on the 1,500 metres, second place on his shoulder. Just couldn't get over him in the last couple of 50, 60 metres there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. First up, I think it was hopefully 3:39. That sounds a bit better than 3:40. But it's always, as you get older, it's always a bit harder. First up from a spell, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I heard you talk on the Athletes Victoria podcast during the week, and you predicted 3:40. Like, how well do you know your current shape and what you're going to open up in?
Probably too well. I probably put limits on myself, but I'm just honest. I'm probably too smart to be doing it for too long to expect that I'm going to come out and run an Olympic qualifier straight away. But this will help. And hold on, I'll just try to call these girls. Laps 75, 76. Sorry about that, guys.
It's all right.
That's fine. My next question was, are you more nervous now for Genevieve or than you were for your own race?
Yeah, actually, I get nervous for a steeplechasers. That's hard. It's like with the water jump. But yeah, mine was like a rust bust, the first race of the season, and this is I don't know how many more opportunities these girls will get to run the 10K Olympic qualifier. The way it looks, they're not going to be able to get over to Stanford. So this is a massive opportunity for these girls. They've been talking about it for a long time in their training. So it'd be great for them to get it, and if not, get pretty close and get some PBs.
Will we see you step up to the 5K, and do a few more 5s, or are you still going to stick to the 15?
Not competitively. I run 13:25 in 2020. I think I can run 10 seconds faster than that. But as far as championships, I'd probably rather go straight out to the marathon, to be honest, than do 5 and 10. That's 5. That's hard. Bloody Shuey doesn't even want to do the 5 and 10. He wants to do the 15. So that 5K, especially with bloody Caklino, 76. It's 5K is hard. That's hard work. I reckon I might go just do 1,500 for another. Hopefully it's Olympics and the next ones. But I really want to. I know it sounds probably crazy, but I do want to give the marathon a crack for a couple of years before whilst I've got some good running in my legs.
That's exciting.
Let me hear, Tim. There's no grimaces at all.
I'm just going to mute this one for 2 seconds. Just with Jen's race plan here, Ryan, we've seen her come over the top of people and outkick people, especially in this race last year. Do you think, are you expecting her that she's going to have to do some work if they want to hit that time when the paces drop out? or do you think winning the race might become a priority for her later on if the time's not on?
Later on in the race, that'll be priority winning. But the girls, they're all friends and they've made a bit of a pact to do work. And the way it looks, Jen will probably lead when Nat drops out, and then it looks like it'll be Andrea and then Sinead. So, the girls are pretty loyal to each other. They'll do that, and then that'll probably get them to 7 or 8K, and it'll probably be every man for himself after that.
Beautiful. Hey, thanks for your time and well done on a solid opener. Looking forward to seeing what comes up next next weeks.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Ryan.
See you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so 12:34 we're looking for at the 4K mark.
Oh, sorry, Brad, 12:24 at this lap.
12:34.
Okay, let's really get this split here.
Still a good pack.
12:39, I heard them say 12:39 for the leader.
So our stream's a bit behind.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did they just say, that a 70-something lap? A 70?
I think Ryan yelled out 76 or 78.
Yeah.
Where's your stream up to, Brady? What's on the clock?
Nah, you and I are the same. They'll just be running off a 5-second delay, I reckon, from what's happening at the track. So sorry for getting ahead of us.
Yeah, so 12:39, which means 5 seconds off.
Okay. And when you say off, is that for 31:25 or 31:30?
Yeah, that's 31:25.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's now Nat, and then it's Jen, Andrea, Sinead, Lauren Ryan, Rose Davies, Izzy Bat-Doyle.
I did some research on Lauren Ryan today, a name that a lot of people haven't heard. She's back from college. She's the girl who pushed Lyndon Hall at the Vic Milers 3K we spoke about a few weeks ago, Krog. She ran 8:54 there. She ran 15:49 in Brizzy, I'm talking October, November. She did run Launceston, but she ran about a minute behind them. But I think that was her first ever 10K. So she's hanging on here. She looks smooth behind Sinead there as well. And someone we hardly mentioned is Rose Davies behind her.
Yeah. Is Lauren from Canberra, Brady?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, she's only 21. Huge roughie. If you were doing odds on her, we'd be looking at $15, $18, I reckon.
And even Rose, Rose, I have no doubt. He's been my one to watch for the last couple of years, and she will be one to watch, and he's one to watch. But over a 10K on the track, she might be another year or two before she's up there with Jen. But who knows? She's still there. She's still there at the moment.
Interesting. They sent her to Bendigo instead of straight to Melbourne, just to get her out of that metro environment. A couple of distractions, put her straight down to Bendigo with Andy Buchanan.
I was trying to work that connection out. Was that through Scotty Westcott?
Both Coach Scott Westcott, yep.
I thought so. I was trying to work out that connection.
Yeah, early 2020 when they got the fires at Falls Creek, their training camp also went to Bendigo. So that worked for her last year.
Okay. Yep.
So they kind of tried to replicate that a bit.
Sorry, Brady, just to intercept. So Tara's taken the lead in this second pack. So it's now Tara from Ellie and then Leanne. So whether she's just taking her turn.
How far behind are they?
Oh, well over 100 metres. Well over.
Looked, we got a bit of them in the background before. Looked at, close to 150.
Hey guys, just quickly, sorry, this stream thing is draining my battery. I'm going to jump off and actually just send the link to another phone. So I'll jump back in once I've sorted out my technical difficulties, okay?
Yeah. And we're going to do audio only, so because we're watching the stream anyway. So if that saves the battery.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, leave it with me. See you soon.
No
Sorry.
Yeah,
See
talk to you soon.
Who do you like the look of at the moment, Brady? Who looks the smoothest?
I think Sinead. I don't know.
Lauren does look good. Looks easy, but it's still early days.
So the plan, everyone's saying they're doing 2 laps each. Is that right? So this is Jen's second.
15:50. They're 8 seconds off the 31:25. Time that they're after. So if they maintain that and Jen stays in this position, she runs 31:40, which gives me exactly to the second my prediction for Brett and Jen. So they just need to keep this rolling.
Keep this rolling. Yeah, it's a bit of Melbourne Track Club versus the rest as well, isn't it? You got the first three there, Melbourne Track Club, and then Lauren. Oh, I think she is based in Melbourne now. She might be doing some training with them. Rose and Izzy Bat-Doyle from South Australia, which is oh, there we go. They put the Pacers are getting interviews, Brad. How many times do you ever get an interview? Sarah Billings is on the stream at the moment. Never interviewed us when we did the Pacing job up at the Gold Coast, did they?
No.
Hey? Anyway, then do you think, like, if these Melbourne Track Club people have got the plan that they're going to do 2 laps each, like DeRose and Lauren and Izzy just hang on, don't have to do any of the lead. I'll see with a lap to go. Bang. Thanks for coming. Like, is that a danger for them, or they think they're going to run them off their feet?
What? If I was Rose and Izzy, I wouldn't be doing any work. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Let them do it, because those girls are still on for a massive PB, and they're better off just sort of backing themselves in a kick, because if anything, Rose is better over the shorter stuff from what we've seen.
Yeah.
That's it. Great work. Stick it out. Okay, guys, I'm back.
Do you reckon we try hit Moose up, Zaka? I dare you to be the one to send him a message. Just be like, hey, Moose, you want to chat with the boys midway through the race? See how tense he is.
Oh, a bit of a gap here. Bit of a gap through lap traffic.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep. Gotcha, Sophie.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Got a new phone. I probably wouldn't go to Moose if I were you.
All right.
I just reckon just leave him. Just let him be the coach tonight. Because, I don't think things are working out that well.
Okay.
What's happening in that second pack?
Yeah, so sorry, Gregson, Sekafian, Diver, Lauren Ryan, Rose Davies, Izzy Bat-Doyle, exactly as they have been the whole time. And then it's now a long way back to so they actually, when those girls went through the 100-meter start point, Ellie, Tara and Leanne went through where you do your 300s from. So that's a 200-meter gap. Yeah. Exactly 200. It's still, so Tara, Ellie's right on her. She's just checked her watch, and Leanne's sitting on Ellie. Ellie's got the furrowed brow, which, she doesn't always have. So I think she's doing it pretty tough.
It's Jen led for more than 2 laps in that, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. So 18:51. 18:51 is the split.
They're 9 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Or actually, 11. Yeah.
11, was it? Good maths, Brady. I'm just going to turn some lights on here, Croaks. It's going to be dark in my
And now, so Andrea's rolling her turn. So Andrea from Diver, Gregson, Rose, Izzy Bat-Doyle, and Lauren Ryan. And they're still exactly, Andrea's about 1.5 meters in front. But I don't think that's much. I think Diver's just giving her a bit of room. I wouldn't say that was a break. Oh, it's actually a little bit. Oh, it is a bit far out. Andrea's made a break.
I reckon this is exactly where Jem would want to be right now, though. Just back in the pack, covering moves.
I'll take the 2 laps early on when I'm still feeling all right, and then sit it and she was the first to go around Sinead then, so she's moved from to second to close that gap on Andrea. Sinead's got to respond, otherwise we're going to have 2 different races. Izzy Bat goes around Sinead now, and Lauren Ryan will have to go around too if she still wants to be in that front race. She's Izzy Bat-Doyle looks smooth as well, doesn't she?
God, Davies is so gutsy.
They reckon she's got this mongrel, like just doesn't care, like just doesn't get scared of anyone in races. Isn't afraid to hurt herself.
This is concerning.
This is this is a huge change. Huge change from when they were here 400 metres ago. So Sekafian from Gregson, Rose Davies and Izzy Bat-Doyle, tight-knit pack. Back to Lauren, back to Diver. Come on, Sinead!
Hey, Soph, have you got a stopwatch? Can you just get their next 400 when they go past you?
I will.
It looks like they've increased the pace.
Can you lap Sinead from here to that? Oh, okay. So Hazy, who I'm with, who's doing Sinead's clock, he just said her last lap was an 80-second lap.
Okay, so she's slow, they're much quicker,
Yeah, so they've slowed, and now it's quite a big gap.
Izzy Bat Doyle surprised me as well, because I reckon early on there was a couple of times where I thought the rubber band was about to break and she was sort of off the back a little bit, but now she's like right on the back of them and looking pretty good.
Coming up to 3K to go, Croaks. What's the split at 7K?
21.59.
What was that? 7K, 21.59. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, would they be at 7K because now they've got...
No, they're coming around to...
Oh, yeah, cool. Because I was thinking, because are they at the half or the full lap? You know what I'm talking about? When it's 7.5.
Yeah.
So Sacafian back to Gregson, Rose Davies, Bat Doyle is sticking to Rose super close. Sorry about the wind. And then Lauren Ryan. And now a gap has really opened up and Dive's going to be on her own for a bit.
So they've dropped the pace a fair bit, Brady. Like...
Yeah, the qualifying time out of the window now.
Yeah, they definitely won't get the qualifying time because they're going to be 17 seconds. They're about 17 seconds off now.
Yeah, and that's maybe why Andrew tried to increase it a bit.
17, yeah. So still good for the 31.40 odd though. Just need Jen to win.
Andrew goes wide to let Jen do some pace or some works and the lead. See, Rose and Izzy are threats here. They're big threats.
Yeah.
7 to go. Imagine one of those jumps.
And just in that second pack, Ellie's back in front of Tara and Leanne. The gap between them's exactly the same as it's been the whole time, but it's Ellie back leading those three. Leanne hasn't had a role in that little group, but she's stuck close to them the whole time. And Lauren Ryan's really dropping off. So it's a race between four. Gregson's leading, back to Sekafian, Rose Davies, Izzy Bat Doyle. And then Lauren's holding strong. She still looks really good, but she has dropped away.
Gregson's got that. Member of the Bendigo Bats as well, Croaks. Like you and me. The Rose is an honorary member of the Bendigo Bats.
Yeah.
This is huge for the Bendigo Bats to really get a win.
I feel like any form athlete it just becomes an honorary member of the Bendigo Bats.
Or even athletes not in form like myself.
She slept in Bendigo last night. That's where she's been trained in Bendigo.
Put her name on the wall.
Spent more time in Bendigo than I have.
Bendigo's about to get a Natterpeck winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I love it. Gregson's got the head tilt a little bit, which is always a sign of fatigue, but she's still holding really good form.
25.08, Brady's the next split.
25.08.
I tell you what, Rose and Izzy aren't going anywhere.
Hey, we got Jared Clifford here. We might we'll have a quick chat to him, and then we'll be back to the business end of this 1500. Jared
10K.
Clifford, 10K. He was in the 1500. Another world record, mate. We haven't seen official results yet, but it must have been close.
Yeah, I think the time was 3:42.97, so took another 1.5 seconds off the unofficial one. And I think it'll be about 5 seconds off the official world record. So, pretty stoked about it.
Nice work. Was it nice to be in the 1500 meters where you're actually being pushed and having people to chase in the last 200 rather than being chased?
Yeah, it definitely helps me too. Clarky was there with that last 300 meters. He was my first guide in running, so it was good to have him and know he'd clear the way for me. And 500 meters to go. I've been in the lead of my last two races, and I think that's worth 2 seconds when you get to sit all the way to the finish line.
Last question, mate, before I let you go and get back to this 10K. But do you set a time at the start of the season? Is it like, are you getting quicker than that? Like, it was 3:45 the past mark, and then it went 3:44 and now 3:43, or like, how much quicker can you go?
Yeah, firstly it was a PB, and then I wanted to get the fastest time by Paralympian without being in a wheelchair. So I knocked that off in the last race, and now it's a bit of unknown territory. I guess the next barrier is 3:40. No ambulant Paralympians gone under that barrier before. So, yeah, I guess the sky's the limit at the moment.
You're a legend, mate. We're going to throw back to this 10K because moves are getting made. Thanks for your time.
Well done.
Guys, the girls are just Sekafian to Rose Davies, Izzy Bat Doyle, and then about 4 meters back to Jen.
Look at Izzy. Izzy just made that rural surge past Jen.
Okay, no, you're a bit behind.
Yeah. I'm a bit slow.
We're
Sorry.
We're about 100 meters to go now. So
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's
what
not
the
that
stream.
bad. They're
That's what the
mid-stream.
stream is anyway. That's what everyone
Yeah.
else is listening to as well. So don't give away any spoilers, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Don't-
I'll bite my
don't
tongue
tell
for
us
3
who-
seconds.
Don't tell us who crosses the line first.
Yeah, I know.
Hey Zacko, we might tell Nath we'll pause him until we got the end of this race, just because it's tidal waves off people. Is that right, Nath? Can you hear me? Oh yeah, he heard me anyway.
Yeah.
All
Jeez,
right,
I reckon I'm going with him. It is a huge upset. Rose Davies is going to go 1 and 2. I'm going to go Rose. Who are you?
I don't know. I reckon Izzy's got
I'm going Izzy. I'm going Izzy. Izzy looks so composed. Her
Oh.
shoulders, her arms, just beautiful. And Andrea's just dropping off a little bit, but still looks really good.
It looks like it's the non-Bordeaux athletes that are going to win here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zacko, who are you going? You're here. You're listening. Who are you going?
I'm going Izzy. I think she's going to freak away here. Looking good.
Looks good, doesn't she?
Isn't this the perfect thing though for Rose, for someone to do this work now and then just have that one last move in the last lap?
So just looking at 5K PBs, and now it's a 10K. Izzy ran 15:26 in December, and Rose ran 15:30 in November, and actually beat Izzy in November, running 15:30.
Yeah.
So it's going to be close.
She's going to be confident she can beat Izzy. Sekafean's back on, and she's at 14:58.
Yeah, I wouldn't be discounting
And-
Sekafean from here.
Sekafan is fit real fit at the moment.
Sekafean's Canadian as well, listeners, so it doesn't impact Australian title here. That's something to.
I'm 14:59.
Yeah,
I'm still going Izzy Bat Doyle.
That almost
Yeah,
has
she
to give
just-
you confidence, though, doesn't it? Knowing, like, Andrea is, like, 25 seconds faster than these girls over 5K. So you go, all right, I backed myself over the last 400. If she can be there at 400 to go.
Yeah, but you've also, that might be what you can run in that if your legs are that lactic,
yeah.
what you've run previously, doesn't count for as much. But yeah,
keep your tips coming in, listeners. Mark's going for Izzy. We can see him popping up here. This is interesting to see. Paul Wilson,
Greg.
there's nothing between Izzy and Davies.
Gregson's
Gregson
80
gone
meters
first.
back.
Yep.
Yeah, 80 meters back.
And
Come on,
Sinead
Darla.
in 4th.
Yeah. Yes, Sinead. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sinead in 5th.
5th, sorry.
Is this-
And then
yeah,
Ali in 5th.
Yes, so it's still Ellie from Tara Palm and Leanne in the second group. But obviously with the lap runners, it's going to be confusing. But yeah, now Ellie, see, it's like Ellie's rhythm, just the way she's running, it doesn't look like it's changed the whole race. She's still really, really poppy. Tara's still really poppy, but those girls, obviously that gap has widened and widened.
So 80 second laps for the last 800 gives them
Okay.
32 flat.
Okay, Sekafan now. Sekafan on her shoulder. Ooh, is Rose Davies, and coming around the two of them is Izzy Bat Doyle. Oh my gosh, the lead. Those three are rotating. Wow.
They have to hit the bell, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, coming up to the bell. And to the bell will be Izzy, Rose on her shoulder, and Andrea tucked in. But it's anyone's game. That's just positioning. That's just jostling. Because they're all poppy, they're all fresh. It's Izzy Bat Doyle from Rose, and they've put a break in. So Andrea's off the back now, and it's Izzy Bat Doyle from Rose Davies.
We'll
But it's
watch now,
tight.
Sophie. Don't give anything away.
Okay, all right, Sophie, shut up.
300 to go. Andrea's gone. Can Rose come over? Izzy. What do you reckon, Coach? What do you reckon?
Well, your stream's ahead of mine. I'm just going through the bell now.
Oh, yeah, I've got we spoke about this today.
Yeah.
Aka, you have to come in and help me out here. You with me? Rose with 200 to go.
Yeah.
200 to go. The Bendigo
Yeah.
bat is still
Oh,
in the
wow.
move.
This is gone.
He's gone to the arms. This is huge.
Yeah, wow.
It's huge.
It might be better if we refer to her as Davies and not the Bat. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
she's home.
Amazing.
Huge last
That
lap.
is some run.
She's at 60 seconds now. She's going to run 66 for the last lap.
Wow, the heart and soul of Central
Hey.
Victoria.
65.20 for the last lap.
All right.
That's
Hey,
Amazing.
Brady, do you remember that time on a podcast I said one to watch, Rose Davies? Remember that?
Yes.
We'll go through the archives.
Everyone's like, no, we don't recall.
Yes.
No, don't know. I think you
That's
told
a
me
great.
that.
That's a great win.
That's huge. Unbelievable.
Huge.
That is
Jack
huge.
Gregson comes in now, 32.05.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so they pretty much ran even splits for the second. Like the second 5K was exactly the same as the first 5K in terms of time.
And sorry, guys, just to cut you off. Ellie's coming into the straight now. Ellie from Leanne back to Tara. So Leanne sat for pretty much that whole race and it's paid off.
Yes, Ellie,
yeah, there's always a few wheels falling off. But so Ellie back to Leanne, the break to Tara. Oh God, it's a death march, really.
Nathan, who we got working down there, he was Rose's +1 tonight. He was in her ticket as a coach.
There you go. Well, the bat brought your friend. It's good.
Just got the winner from the tipping competition, Matthew Blashke, long-time listener. Matthew, if you're on our stream at the moment, congratulations. We'll be in touch with your 3 pair of shoes from Moose.
It would have been pretty easy to calculate that. There wouldn't have been that many who picked Rose.
No, I don't think there were many at all. Actually, it was pretty quick on the reply there. Let me tell you how many people did pick Rose, Rod.
Come on, baby, fucking send it.
Oh, only 16 people did. 16 people picked her in the end.
I didn't. I certainly didn't pick Izzy that close as well.
So her previous, did anyone see what time she ran across the line?
I didn't see it, no.
31:39.
She ran 33:25 in this race last year. It was a bit slow, obviously, a bit more tactical to come third. So she's taken 32 seconds off her Launceston time.
Amazing. Yeah. How old's Rose Davies?
21. Talent.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now it's going to
Fun to
keep her in the
watch.
sport.
All right, so are you keen to walk down the finish line and see if you can grab anyone?
Yeah. I've just got someone else's phone. That's the only thing.
Nathan will be down there anyway.
Stuff. All good.
Yeah, I'll leave it to Nath. I just don't want to wander away with this very kind man's phone.
Yeah, we'll go roving Nate.
Yeah, I
Right,
might
Nath.
leave it to Roving Nath. Yeah, shout out to Sutho, my new friend who lent me his phone on full battery. It's a community event. Anyway, guys, it's been great to be part of it. Thanks for including me as always, and awesome work, putting our sport out to the masses. Great job.
Thanks again
Well done.
for your insight.
Great calling.
Thanks, Zaka, for your tech work as always.
Man behind the mic.
Good stuff, Soph.
That's all right. Good on you guys. Take it easy.
Thanks,
See ya.
Soph. Bye.
Bye.
Soph.
Jeez, 65 croaks, last 400.
Yeah, and look good doing it too.
Oh,
I'll
21
wait for
years
the
old.
results and I'll chuck them down the bottom, guys.
Yeah, thanks, mate. There's not much more to do here. We'll see if we can grab someone, listeners, and then I do see they got Rose on the stream now, and then we'll call it a night. What a night of athletics, eh, Croaks? The world's got him in envy of this, don't they?
I'll tell you what worked really well for Rose was not being basically having all those girls set the pace and her basically just sit in.
And let's not forget Izzy Bat-Doyle.
It worked well for Izzy as well.
But she also had a blinder.
Yeah.
Like she would have run a 30-second PB as well.
Yeah.
Andrew said that was fantastic. Thanks for putting it on, lads. A great way to watch people run around in circles. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Andrew. Thanks, Dan Craig is one of the fellas I coached. That was awesome, gang. Thanks, well done. Banged out 6x1K this morning pretty well as well, Dan. Paul, thanks for tuning in.
That was fun, Brady.
There's something about Rose Davies, and everyone's been talking about it, that she's got this, I used the word mongrel before to describe her. Like she's got this grit, she's got this mongrel, she's not afraid to race people. That's why you've predicted her as like the next big
Yeah.
name in Australian distance running. She's 21 and she's taken it up to all these Olympians. She doesn't seem to get scared. I talked to Nathan today. He said the same thing. I said, how's she going to go? And he's like, she just doesn't care about her competition.
Yeah.
Well, she cares about him, but she's not phased by them or like daunted by them. Like there's something in athletes that have that.
The thing that struck me when this is the first race that I thought she's going to be amazing was Noosa Bolt a couple of years ago, where she was sitting on the back of like it was, the likes of your Jens and, maybe Eloise or whoever it was. And she was with them right up until the end and was giving it absolutely everything. And you got to think 2 years ago, she's like 19. And so, as a 19-year-old, generally you're only going to get better from there. So the question is now, though, what's the best event? Because, like if she's running this for 10, like I reckon her 5, like I still see her better over 3 and 5, but who knows now?
Well, what does it mean? So it's not a qualifier. She's still not going to the Olympics with that time.
Yeah.
And she might not have another opportunity to race a 10K.
No.
But what does this mean for her now? Does she try and hit a 5K time, Olympic qualifier?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Like I think 15's too short. And, she either tries to find a 10K somewhere, which is hard because you can't really travel internationally, or she has to run, was it 15:10 or something like that for the 5? So she needs to find 20 seconds on what she's already run.
Yeah, exciting times ahead for Rose Davies. Thanks to all these people sending in nice comments, guys. It's very cool to think. And the coolest thing about tonight was our peak numbers hit when the women's 10K was on. That was
what did it get up to, Brady?
I think about like 430 or something at one stage,
Okay.
which is cool. So, thanks for giving us your ears. We'll hopefully I did see Nathan in the background there. He was just waiting over the fence. As I said, his best mates with Rose. That was his ticket in tonight. So we should be able to get her in his second now. It's cool. Hopefully, even this stuff tonight we can, like we've always, I don't know about you, Croaks, I'd always love to get invited to be on one of the AA live streams or something like that, but we'll just do our own now. And hopefully it's something we can do more of in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a bit like I get a bit nervous of the live stuff just because, as you said, there's no safety net and you don't want that awkward just silence for like 3 minutes. But I don't think there's too many awkward pauses, which is good.
I think we're right. Here is Nathan there.
Hey boys, how are we?
Hey, how's your +1 for the night?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. What a race!
Oh, it was amazing. 65 last lap. I got her at.
I'm not too sure. I didn't get it. I was at the 100-meter mark, but yeah, what a kick! 250 to go. Awesome.
Yeah. There you go.
She's just next
around?
to me at the moment. Yeah, 2 seconds.
Beautiful.
She's just getting a bib off.
She'll be signing that for some kid or
Ali's
something.
just taking her bib off. There we go. Here she
Ali's
is.
taking the bib off for her.
Yeah. Right, she's just signing some bibs.
That's right. We're in no rush. We're just hanging on to the end here.
Oh.
Can I hear?
Yeah, can you hear us, Rose?
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Massive,
Thank you.
massive run. Huge performance.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the win. How do you feel right now?
Oh, I'm stoked. I mean, it's my first big win, so yeah, I'm so happy.
What was the plan going in? Like, you obviously had heard that the, I guess, Bordeaux's squad were going to be chasing 31.25 and they'd have a pacemaker to 5K and then sharing the lead. Were you asked to do any work in that sort of pack?
Yeah. Well, I was asked, but to be honest, I thought I was just going to be hanging on for as long as I can. Like 31.25s was like nearly 30 seconds quicker than my PB. So yeah, I was just planning on holding on for as long as I can. But when the pace slowed a bit, I really felt it. So yeah, I felt really good, to be honest.
And do you see yourself being more of a 5K runner, or after today, like, do you think 10K is definitely like where you'll head?
I think my coach will say 10K, but yeah, I think 10K now. I feel a lot better in the longer stuff. I feel so much more stronger, but I still want to keep that 5K there because, you need to run a good 5K to run a good 10K. So yeah, I'll definitely do both.
Rose, I got your last lap is 65.6.
Oh,
pretty bloody solid finishing speed at the end of a 10K. Is it something you're
Yeah.
renowned for, kicking down like that?
No, not really. I think that's probably my fastest last lap I've done. But I've been really trying to work on my speed because I've been lacking in the kicks pretty much every race I've done. So yeah, it was nice to actually get up on top.
Did you have a
Tell us-
sense? Did you have a sense towards the end of the race that you were the strongest out there and that you would be able to close it and win? At what point did you
Yeah.
think you were able to do that?
Probably with 600 to go. The girls, Andrea and Izzy were sort of battling for the lead. So I sort of just tried to stick behind and just follow whoever went. And yeah, with 300 to go, I sort of was pretty confident that I was going to be able to finish on top.
Rose, your coach Scott Westcott, one of the most underrated coaches in Australia. He must be
the best
jumping up
coach
and
in
down.
Australia.
Yeah, must be
Yes.
jumping up and down on his couch in Newcastle right now.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, no, he was confident that I was going to run well. He said it's such a good opportunity, so don't leave it out on the track, and that's exactly what I was thinking. We've had such a good training stint in Perisher, and then I went to Bendigo for a week with Andy. So yeah, he'd be stoked.
Hey, we can see people lining up there behind you to talk to you. We'll let you go, but thanks heaps
Yeah.
for giving the Inside Running podcast some time.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, Rose. Congratulations.
Hey, boy.
Good work, Nath.
Yeah, no worries. I hope I got
You've been-
some unprecedented access.
Yeah.
You've been best on tonight, mate. Absolute
I'll tell you-
best on.
As +1, I would have liked to think that you'd be able to get Rose for for an interview.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, what a night of racing, hey.
Very good.
Yeah.
Certainly, I was amazed just to see, I guess, so many highly credentialed runners pop so early. It was certainly an upset.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of just too much anticipation, I reckon, before the race for a few people. But through that women's race, it did pick up. The wind did pick up throughout it, and it was a bit blustery. So that could have played a bit of a part in a few casualties.
Nath, I asked you at the start about the atmosphere. Like, did it lift throughout the evening? Like, does it feel like a normal Zatopek, even with the number of restrictions?
Yeah, no, even with the not being able to get onto the track, it still felt like the crowd was over the sort of the race pretty much. So it was pretty good. And it was a perfect night. At least it didn't rain as well. So it was rowdy. It was a rowdy bunch around tonight, so it was good.
That's what we want, mate. Anyone else you can see for a last interview, or this has got last
there's
from
a
you?
bit of a medal presentation going on at the moment. No one really close by, but yeah.
We might call it there anyway. That's
sounds good.
Mate, you've done a ripping job. We really do appreciate the fact that Stewie can pop up in here out of nowhere, and Brett and Jack and Evie. I think I could. Yeah, it's going to be really.
Yeah, well done,
cool
mate.
for us, yeah. We'll look after. We'll send you some beers or something.
No, all good. Happy to help out.
Thanks,
You're
mate.
a legend, mate.
Cheers,
Thanks for that.
Cheers.
See ya.
Have a beer with me. Cheers.
Yeah, we will. Hey, a wrap up, fellas. Zaka, highlight of the night. Hard to go past Rose Davies.
Yeah, cannot go past that. That was, I don't think there was many people that expected to see the last sort of the race unfold like that. That was really entertaining. Great stuff. See someone put it out there like that was, makes you want to go out and have a run, doesn't it?
Croaks, one thing you learn about tonight, distance runner in Australian, what stands out to you?
Never, there's no, the favourite doesn't always win. But she's been knocking on the door, Rose. It's one of those things. And that's what we said at the top of the show was the 10K was so intriguing in that, yes, the likes of Jen go in favourite, but there's a lot of unknowns amongst Rose and Izzy Bat-Doyle, especially over the last couple of months with what they did in Launceston. You just went, well, they're on the rise. You knew what to expect from your Sineads and Jens, but it was this unknown X factor about these other girls. So it just adds two more names to an already really long list of strong female distance runners in the country.
Where does it leave Ali? She's the one with the time, but she was a long way off the pace tonight. They go back and string the weeks together and get fitter.
She'll bounce back. Like, you got to look at, and this is the thing about distance running, is it's so much about consistency, and she lost that for a period of time there. Remember when we were doing Road to Nowhere, got on there, she was busted, and there's only a few very talented people. I'm not saying Ellie's not talented, she's super talented, but there's only a few people that can get back to like almost PB shape after a few weeks of training. You know, like you see, remember like Jack came off his stressy and was out doing that tan like not long after that. But Ellie's obviously one of those athletes that just takes a little bit longer and needs more consistency behind her before she runs well. And that's when, if you look back at when she was running her 31:18 or what it was and her top marathons, she hadn't missed any training for a couple of years, I reckon. So if she can string together the training, she'll definitely get back there.
She didn't dodge the competition either. Could have sat it out, not raced. Wanted the opportunity to still race in the best 10K race in Australia as well, which is something we've gone to learn about Ali sensing that race competition. Well, fellas, should we call it a day? I think we were going to say 8:30 we'll finish off.
Yeah.
A big thanks to Zach.
Yeah.
No, guys. Recap next week, mate. Recap. You guys are back on. When are you going to air? When's the Thursday?
We're recording Thursday night.
Okay.
Which I actually like in the end because it would have been a pain in the ass talking about this in 24 hours time, Brad. At least we got 48 hours to talk about it.
Yeah. Have a break between having a chat to each other.
Yeah.
And the fact that Viv has struggled for the last hour and a half trying to put one kid to bed, I think she's looking forward to having a night off tomorrow where there is no podcast.
Yeah, when I went out to get a beer before, Carly looked at me and she's like, Hudson is not asleep. And I'm like, I better go into the house and stop talking about running in the shed.
Viv, would you like to come in and talk about your night?
You're a thin ice, mate. You're pushing there.
But yeah, massive thanks to Zach. He's the brains behind the technology and stuff, and Nathan and Soph to be on the ground.
Yeah, they sorted it out. That was great.
We just hit them up during the week and said, "Hey, can we give you a link and can you talk to anyone that's around?" And Croaks and Zach have given up their evening.
And the listeners getting behind it as well and supporting it.
Yeah,
these are things that we want to keep trying to bring the sport up. So yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in.
I think this saves now too, doesn't it, Zach? Or if you ever want to watch or listen.
You got a couple of hours up to sleep.
We should just cut. This is audio and released at episode number 169 or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway,
work out another opportunity to do this.
Yeah. There'll be some race stuff starting to come back. So let's see. All right, boys.
Run the bridge, something like that. All right, fellas. Thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in, listeners. Talk to you Thursday evening on Patreon, Friday morning for everywhere else.
Over and out.
See ya.
Anyone know how to stop this thing?